Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MIRRORMOURN. I am your GM, Esper, and I'm pretty excited and anxious about this episode. We left on one hell of a cliffhanger, so we're going to be starting off with that. Why don't you all introduce yourselves in our typical backwards alphabetical order? Who are your characters?
Certainly. Hello, everyone. I'm Warsor, and I play Walykos, the level 7 half-elf ranger.
Oh, did we lose Vince? Looks like we lost Vince.
Hey guys, I'm
he's back.
I'm Vince. No, I'm
Who are you playing, Vince?
I am playing Vapor, the wild magic sorcerer.
I'm Nick. I'm playing Adriel Mantevel, the level 7 swashbuckling rogue.
And I'm Adam, and I'm playing Aygir, the level 7 armor artificer.
Your party is in the gauntlet, the old gauntlet that giants would run dwarven slaves through to try to weed out a few champions from the scores of potentials who the vast majority of them likely would fail in the various traps and dangers there. You all have long since made your way through it and mostly secured the gauntlet. Well, there's been a discovery, a puzzling, unsettling discovery. So we have, we have Walykos and Aygir, who had gone all the way through the gauntlet to this sort of a magical meeting chamber, and you had determined that someone has been activating the panel that communicates with Baal Vonder, the old giant lord who has been masterminding, who's been the mastermind behind a great scheme to retake the land from the elves. And you know that giants, a massive giant force, is currently en route through the lava sea, heading towards Haven Isle, and is due to land now here in 2 days' time. That's what the scouts are estimating. Okay, so we have Walykos and Aygir, who've come up from the communications room and are like halfway through the gauntlet near the old strange standing stone. Then we have Vapor, Adriel, and someone else is with you. Who's with you?
I believe it's Arachnoid and
It's
Corgain,
Arachno
right?
and Corgain Makel.
Arachno, yeah.
Yes, because you all were doing a meeting here today at your Arcane Sanctum. So
Yeah, we
you other
basically, met
four
up in
were waiting in the Arcane Sanctum, and why are Walykos and Aygir taking a long time? Maybe something is wrong. Let's go. There are some dangers afoot down here still, and you all are encountering one another in this chamber with the strange standing stone.
Really quick, because I can't remember, and I did listen to last session, how'd they know where to go to find us down there?
I think we were just going down to try and look for you to see what was going on.
Yeah, they went
It was
in
just the other place.
They went in
Yeah.
the other direction looking for you.
I'm just saying the lava dungeon has lots of ways they could have gone. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have necessarily gone to that gauntlet. Was there a reason that you remember, Esper?
There's sort of
They track
three.
us?
Yeah, there's kind of three main places you could have gone, which would be the gauntlet, that strange elevator lift thing that you need that specific tile to operate, and then another one that seems to go up to the surface that also requires a tile to operate.
Yeah.
So I imagine that they.
But I guess my point is, couldn't we have also gone up and out of the place through the crevice? There's a reason. I'm sure there's a reason why they went to follow us. Did they track us? Does Corgain tracking our footprints or something?
The crevice is in the
I feel like
other
we
side.
fast forwarded past that.
From Walykos's perspective, I would think of this from Walykos's perspective. Is that like the first thing you would ask them? Is like, how did you know we were here?
Yeah, Well, if we're meeting there, it is kind of odd. And just set the scene, and I'll roll with it. I just didn't think that they would meet us here.
The two of you have spoken to each other, Aygir and Walykos, and there are some disturbing implications to the evidence that you've just uncovered. And as you are passing by this strange, aberrant standing stone, you see your allies, Adriel and Vapor, along with Arachno, Shorter Fellow, and Corgain Makel, coming from the other direction in the room. Your eyes meet. Corgain's has a look of concern on his face. "Is something wrong? We went looking for you. You had been taking some time."
You two have been gone for quite a while. Everything all right?
Nothing is wrong. Don't worry about that.
Perhaps we should get back to our business then.
Yes, we should.
Agreed.
Walykos isn't saying too much. She's just like watching the others.
Yep. Future Adriel will sort of say, "Let's get going," and he'll start walking back up to the top.
There's much that we must discuss. If nothing is amiss, let us go back to the sanctum.
Yes.
All right, the six of you gather together, go back out through the, initial chambers of the gauntlet, back up through the fiery ruin, through the great corridor, and into your arcane sanctum that, recently someone has pilfered through it. I think Aygir was deducing that it was probably the dragon-born or half-dragon son of Zelex, this Artificer who has this submarine vessel in this underground chamber beneath the an old warehouse.
I think last session, in terms of like things that I guess like all the characters know about, like we were discussing trying to figure out like what we're going to be doing with the son of Zelex, right? And trying to figure out how we're going to find him or what the plan is, right? So I guess Adriel would like speak up and say, we've been discussing a bit on what we're going to be doing with the son of Zelex. Did you two have any ideas while you were down there? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think we'll wait till he goes back to his lair and then try to trap him in his lair and attack from both sides.
How long do you think we should wait before he gets back there? Or should we maybe have an encampment outside?
He only just hit the flagship. We can go there later discreetly and we can stopper it up. We can block the way from the sea, and we can block the way from up above, so he can't go up into the streets.
It's like
There's
a
way that
good
we
plan
could
to me.
trap him in. If we could deny him access to that underwater vessel, that would be a tremendous blow to the enemy.
There was
that
that
thing about it makes it exceedingly perilous to try to get any ships on the water.
There were the gates underneath his hideout, and Vapor, I know that Vapor doesn't have to breathe, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah. So I know the Vapor, you can perhaps get under there on the other side and do some of your magic or do something to kind of put a stopper in that so that he has no way of getting out, perhaps.
Well, if he's under there, out of curiosity, was there enough room for that submarine in that lair that we found, or no?
Not in the lair, but he'll leave it outside in the water somewhere, and he can.
Basically, Adriel's saying like you should go
what it
from
looks
the
like
other
to you
side.
is he takes the vessel in through the submerged tunnel, and then he brings it up into that kind of flooded. It's not exactly a lake, but this like flooded pool, and the gate would shut underneath. He'd open it, and then he'd bring the submergible up, and then he'd shut the gate.
Yeah, Adriel's essentially saying you should go in. You should go in from the backside of the layer, essentially, and stop him from coming out. Like, for example, like if we show up and he notices us, he might just run that way, right? So we need something there, right? Or at least that's what Adriel's thought is.
That is possible, but how would you want me to do it? I have no way to keep him there.
We would also want to know when he's there.
That I might
Suppose
be
we-
able to help with.
We could have someone on watch, or a few of us on watch.
I have a better way. We know that he's going to return there at some point. Hopefully we can narrow it down to a window, and I can use a locate object spell on his armor. I've seen his armor or his submersible device. Either one of those, we could detect it from thousands of feet away when it comes into the lair. All I would need to be is in the warehouse above, probably. Not even that close. I could be on the roof of the warehouse.
Yes,
Quick out of game question: How far? Well, I guess I could ask it in game. How far does your locate object work? What's the radius?
Checking right now. I
Should
think
be
it's like
1,000
feet. That's what I thought. Yep, 1,000 feet.
Which would certainly be enough to know when the vessel is coming into the
Yeah.
tunnel. Yeah, into the
Because it's
flooded tunnel.
it's in all directions, so I'd even detect it as he approached, probably.
Mhm.
Aygir has been kind of lost in thought for a little while and chimes in late. Oh, if Vapor can find the gates, I'm sure we can orchestrate a pipe of rocks falling in at some point. It's not too hard.
Well,
Kinda looks around.
I went down there before. I can just tell him where it is. Yeah. Honestly, there's a tunnel. We could block it off with magic. Anything that collapses that tunnel, in my opinion, I don't see any downside to it.
Do you think your shatter spell, that you use Vapor, could work? I've seen you use that before in similar instances, and it breaks
Would
things
it
quite
create enough? It would not create enough debris to block it. But how hard would it be to get some of that crackle powder barrels?
Oh, we could do that, I suppose.
Would the crackle powder work underwater though?
Those
No,
barrels
It wouldn't
says-
ignite if wet.
No.
But we don't need it to ignite. We just need to scare him with it.
I think you're misunderstanding. The point of what you're doing is blocking the tunnel is what we
If we
want to
could
do.
trap him in there,
Yeah.
that would deny the vessel, and
Escape route.
we could attack
Yeah.
this person, this
So-
artificer.
Anything that
Is
we
there a
can.
way?
to
Is there a way that
stop.
is there a way that we could prevent the gates from being opened on that side? Maybe not just block it, but
I had to look at it, but I was holding my breath underwater. It would take more time than I had to figure something out.
Yes,
It was
maybe
pretty
if we had,
complicated.
perhaps
heavy
Vapor could
chains, large links of heavy chains. We could chain it shut.
perhaps
that-
If I
Vapor
could get to the
could
I don't know
mechanics-
that that's
the mechanical part of it,
particularly
I could shadow that.
reliable.
perhaps
No,
Vapor
sorry.
could actually, since we're expecting his submersible vehicle to be somewhere nearby in this tunnel, as Vapor could get into this vehicle or malfunction in some way, so
Well-
he couldn't use it to escape.
Well, so there's a tunnel, and then there's a gate. He opens the gate. His submersible goes beyond the gate, and then the gate closes.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Is
okay,
that correct,
sorry.
Esper? Just to
Yeah.
I
be
thought.
clear?
Oh, I get it. Okay, so the gate
Yeah,
actually
the-
goes
the
through the
gate
gate. Oh, okay, or the
basically,
submarine goes through the gate.
Is like
Creates
a
access up into
cave.
the pool.
Yeah.
Let's call
I
it,
understand
in the
now.
cave.
Sorry, I thought that the submarine would be
it is.
outside of the gate. Okay,
It is a
I get
very
it now.
complicated mental thing. Trust me, I had
Yeah.
multiple times of. I had to listen to
I-
Esper.
I understand now. Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah.
It's like I get it.
All right, cool. So we just need to block the tunnel.
It's
We
the
could
garage
collapse-
door. He
Yeah.
opens it, parks the submarine in the garage, and shuts the garage door.
What spells do you have access to, Vapum? Is there anything that we could use for this? Or perhaps if not, maybe we could get a spell scroll from Crispin or Duncan.
Oh,
The best would be to shatter the cliffside above it and try to create a avalanche to block it, but that's be hit or miss if we can get enough debris.
Well,
Could
how
we
many times
use-
could you shatter if you had to?
Vapor holds up 3 fingers.
Okay. I mean,
Could
that's
we-
a significant amount of damage that you could do to the tunnel.
Could we use? Hold on, let me. So, quick
You
question.
could
out of game.
upcast Shatter and probably cast it more than 3 times.
I
Yeah.
could
Would it be-
upcast it,
Assuming
but
you're willing to
the
burn
only-
off all the spell slots.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do
Plus
that.
you have
right,
sorcery
yeah.
points.
So one of the things I did try to mention this in character. I think I got talking over, but Vapor was thinking possibly of if he could get at the gate mechanical part of it, he could shatter that, preventing it from being open somehow.
If
So,
you
like, lock
shattered
the
that,
gate.
it seems like the gate
Yeah.
would just fall loose
Apart.
and just
You
always
can't
be
kind
open.
of pinpoint, yeah. Good thoughts though. Like we could disable the gate,
Trapping
could
him in
disable the
there
tunnel.
after he has already
gone in.
gotten out of the submergible or whatnot. In the theory, the idea of that seems really good, but
Vapor-
the how
well-
is more difficult.
I have a thought. And this might be a slightly different direction. Vapor, you don't have invisibility or anything like that, do you?
Fortunately, no.
No.
When I
We have
gain
a-
more powers, I try to figure out how my magic channels, and it never gave me the feeling of being able to vanish from sight.
That's
There is
fair.
a harbor. We are in the presence of various kinds of ships, including fishing vessels with nets. I see no reason why we can't drop a net and catch the thing were to come out, allow us to keep it within there, and
No, if it's already left his cave, then it's too late for us to bottleneck it in. He could go anywhere in the sea if he gets away. If we slip up, if we can stop him in his cave and he can't get out, then we have him trapped.
There might be another way for me to prevent him from leaving. I might be able to do shatter on this
The
vessel,
submersible.
and
would
maybe
be better if we could take it. We could use it, especially in the fight.
Do you have a way of teleporting, perhaps?
I do. We have Aygir here. Give me a hand figuring it out.
I do know a thing or two about commandeering vessels. Yes.
Yes. Wait, you said
Would
you
it-
had a way of teleporting?
Yes, but it's not the most subtle, unfortunately. My storm magic acts. I have affinity to lightning, and it acts up when I cast it, creating almost like a thunder-like effect.
It explodes where you
Yes.
leave. Yeah, I gotcha.
And where I appear.
Still a way past the gate potentially, if in a
If we could get
pinch.
eye gear,
There is also the
potentially
factor
inside of the submarine.
that we do not know where this fellow is in his submergible at the moment.
Yes, well, that's the point.
There's a big unknown that
So here's my thought
makes
to
this
solve
difficult.
that. Vapor, you can hold your breath underwater indefinitely. We just need to bury you, hide you next to the entrance to the cave and watch. And once he takes his submersible back into his cave, then we know he's there. You could also swim up and look through the grate and see if you see the submersible in the cave. But essentially, you would have to be a lookout, if that makes
No
sense.
way to send messages if I do find him.
Um,
Check that.
I'm sure that we could get
Yeah,
something
I don't
from
have
Duncan,
sending.
or I'm sure we could get something from Duncan, or
don't we have a
perhaps.
sending stone? We don't have sending stones.
Vapor uncovered a sending stone from
We haven't used it, though,
one
yeah.
of the crashed aeroskiffs.
Right. Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah, that's connected
Useful.
somewhere else, so we can't really
Yeah.
use it. Yeah.
Yep, that's
really
connected to the other sending stone.
By the way,
that
out of
question
game,
mark
do you happen to
has-
have? Do you happen to have subtle spell?
I
as
have
meta
a-
magic option, Vapor.
Let me check my notes. I think I do, but I'd have to double check.
Well, while you're checking that, here's my suggestion on how to send a signal. We could be up on the cliffside watching the water top, and couldn't we make a bladder of some sort that you could inflate with air
Yeah,
And
just
it
for
floats.
Yeah, that's a
or
good
even
idea.
just a piece of wood, just something light. and
Heck,
maybe
you could
brightly
just have
colored.
a balloon full of air that you hold on to
Yeah.
with your weight and then let it go when the time
Yeah.
comes and it floats to the surface. Presumably we would have it so we could see it.
Yeah, that's actually a good call. Yeah, that'd be a great way. Like one balloon
You
for
could
he's
have
here,
a-
2 balloons for he's not, 3 balloons for he's here with the submarine, something like that. Like
If
I
only
mean-
you had some sort of bladder, the kind that you might put goldfish or even a small poisonous frog in.
Well, I mean, it's a fishing harbor. We can get some sort of like
Yeah,
net
we can-
buoys for crab pots or something, and just he can have them with him. I'm sure this
Or-
is something we can find.
I mean, worst case,
Mhm.
let me look at this trident. He might just be able to send
Fish.
command some fish to like do a flop out of the water like 10 times or something to get our attention.
Oh.
Form of
Yeah, I guess fish would raise less
to make a
attention than-
formation while swimming. If he's
Requires
here.
attunement, but I mean, if you want it, it's an uncommon attunement item.
what's it do again?
So it's a magic weapon. It has 3 charges. While you carry it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge to cast Dominate Beast. Save DC 15 on any beast that has an innate swimming speed, and it regains 1d3 charges every dawn. Dominate Beast, 4th level spell, concentration, up to 1 minute. You attempt.
Yeah,
to
you
beguile
command the
beast.
creature telepathically, and it will just obey whatever you command it. And then
Yeah.
you can also like spend your
can take-
action to just like completely go into
total
its
complete
mind and take
control.
complete control of every minute thing it does.
And I don't know if they count as beasts, but like
Dragons don't count as beasts, I don't think.
as a dragon.
No, we
Uh,
have him go hide underwater, and then when he sees the guy pull in, command the largest fish he can find to go jump out of the water a couple of times, and then
Yeah.
Your Vapor is basically gonna be Aquaman. It's gonna be great.
we basically
Like
we're
it.
just people will see a slightly unusual sight on the dock of like a marlin jumping or something like that. But that's not unheard of, but it's a subtle signal, and we know what it is and what it means.
Yeah, he can command it to go. Yeah. I mean, honestly, he doesn't even have to command it. He can just use his action to totally control it and make it do loop-de-loos, yeah.
Arachno says, I would like to go with Vapor. You
Can you
can
breathe underwater?
disguise yourself or remain under the water unseen. I'll remain unseen up top, watching from the cliffside, let's say, near to Shackle Downs. This would allow me to also go up to the southern wharf to relay information to the party.
Okay, so what's he saying exactly?
By this plan, we'd have Vapor underwater at the secret layer, and then up top, which is kind of close to the coastline, Arachno would be like there at the cliffs, like where Walykos had already gone that time before. He'd
And
be
then the
watching
rest
out for
of
any
us.
visual things there. And then the party would be at like the southern end of the wharf, which would be like within just a few minutes
Yeah.
as the Arachno roof jumps, because he's quite mobile. He
I
could
think
relay
I should-
information that way.
I think I should be with Arachno too, because I can climb up and down the cliff with my climb
Yeah,
speed.
you're also pretty mobile too. Very mobile.
So just in case something happened, Arachno can go for help and I can assist, or vice versa.
Okay,
And
that would
then what
put
it would be- it
Aygir,
would be-
Adriel, and Corgain
that-
at the wharf, watching out for the jumping
Yeah,
large
and
fish.
also ready to enter through the
Yeah,
entrance to the
exactly.
warehouse.
Yeah.
I believe with Dimension Door, I'm able to take 1 person with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So whoever remains could just dive into the water, and Vapor could Dimension them Door in.
You do have to be next to them, though, be aware.
That's
Well-
true. I would.
Yeah, that's why I said he would have to dive into
That's
the
probably-
water.
That's probably unnecessary because here the whole point is all that you're doing is saying he's entered his lair.
Right.
Then we have to execute a plan to trap him in his lair. That's up to you, Vapor.
Well,
mostly.
So
Okay.
actually, yeah, I think part of that should be Vapor, because remember, Vapor can levitate. So he can levitate out of the water, and then he and Aygir can try and teleport via Dimension Door into this up? Or
no, I think that's overcomplicated. Like what we should be focused on, save your levitate for an emergency, but send a message, however we work it out, and then wait till he's in his lair, wait till he's gotten out of his submarine, and then trap him in the lair.
Exactly.
Through the method of hopefully shattering the tunnel. Like I'm hoping that will be
and
enough.
I mean, like worst case, like if the shattering the tunnel doesn't work, or like if he is able to like get away from me and Aygir and Corgain, then you're still underwater to fight him a bit and stop him from getting like in the, like we have. There's so many backups here, so I think we're good. Yeah.
And
actually, I think Aygir has a trick up his sleeve for trapping.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the trapping Vapor on your side after he's in his lair, but you've already alerted us, so we go in from the front, we attack him. And if he tries to run for it, he'll run into the collapsed rubble and the tunnel, ideally. Or he'll run into you as you shatter his ship.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So then, sounds like we have a plan of some sorts to go forward on.
Yep.
I think we'd be doing this either tonight or tomorrow.
We should do this as soon as possible. We need to get Vapor in place so that
immediately would.
Well, when I meant like tonight. When I said tonight, I meant like today, right? Like when we think he's gonna be back.
Well, we
like,
should get in place.
We're getting in place right now because we're watching for him. We don't know when he's coming.
Okay.
We need to be ready to react.
We'll head that way shortly.
Yeah, he can be there now.
Since we are heading that way, I propose, Aygir, if you could quickly stop by the storm tower. I have something that you might be able to make usage of.
You have
Corgain draws from a pouch a pretty sizable topaz gem. I found this in the Cloud Steppe many years ago. I had planned to give it to Tamrak Larks as a sort of gift. But, I don't have time to travel to Tamrak's cave now.
Who is Tamrak? It's very pretty.
A coastal dragon, a topaz. I had spoken of him previously. He could serve as an ally, being that he loathes giant. He tends to loathe everyone, but he loathes giants especially.
Sorry to interrupt you in this, because this is very interesting, and I'm a huge fan of this. But remember, Aygir currently is the only person who does not know that Corgain is a dragon.
I thought he told all of us.
He told everybody but Vapor and I, and then he told Vapor last session
and he told me as well last session too. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you weren't there yet, so you just don't know.
That is right. I have not made this known to you yet, Aygir. So I will quickly do so. As you know, I've changed my form as needs be. Well, you'll just have to see. And he changes his form before your very eyes, before everyone's very eyes. And his body expands into a large-sized creature. A dragon. A proper dragon. Complete with 4 legs, expansive wings. And he has a dark cream to pale coloration to his scales. The scales glint and glisten in the light quite a bit as they have a gem-like quality to them, and in fact there is a nose spike that is like a shard of quartz and some other spiky quartz bits coming off around his head. His throat has a large sort of throat sac look to it, and the snout is a more stunted one. It's not a long, protruding snout.
So Aygir obviously is a little bit shocked, but
it is true.
Sort of recovering a little bit, says, Celtics, Corgain, Tamrak, Clark, who? Sorry, Your Excellency, but I must ask, who isn't a dragon?
Well, I'm assuming none of you are.
Dragon, Aygir.
Arachno? No.
I've never met a dragon.
Aygir, there's something I have to tell you.
Oh, you're a dragon too?
I'm
Well?
just kidding. I thought it
Oh.
would be amusing. Break the
Oh,
ice.
I'll try it then. I'll try it then. So,
I
so
am your uncle's neighbor's Xena's trainer.
Yes.
What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
well, wait. On the cloud step, that makes them like blood brothers or something.
Yeah, maybe so.
Anyway,
So
he holds the.
Corgain does not dawdle. He doesn't linger in this form, and he goes back into the form of the sort of a wise old elven man.
I think
And
it's best if
he
we
hands you
get
this
started.
topaz gem. Seeing as I will no longer be making use of this, as I don't have time to go out to Tamrock's cave, perhaps you could use this to help augment the sword that Crispin and Duncan are
Does it
currently
possess
working
any
on.
innate powers, or is it just a pretty stone? It's very pretty stone, but does it do anything? Is it magic?
Topaz dragons are known for a desiccating breath, and they have an innate connection to negative energy. I'm going to trust that Crispin and Duncan in particular will know how to utilize this in the least fell way possible. It is topaz gem after all. It is not a necromantic component.
I should make every haste to deliver this at once and articulate that as quickly as I can before we go to install ourselves in this ambush we've set up and planned.
All right. Any final thoughts? I know there's a lot we could discuss, but I think we've done quite a bit here already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get going, but I want to catch Adriel's eye, and I don't know like any thieves' cant or a language that we both share. Like, but if we have some way of like signaling to each other, I want to like give you a signal, like to like I want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that we probably had some. I mean, we grew up together.
Yeah,
personally,
it could be
so,
something as simple as like just a gesture or
Yeah.
some sort of, you know.
Yeah, I'll notice that, and yeah, I would kind of like, I guess as we're, I don't know where we would be talking. Maybe we'd be doing it in the back of the group as we're moving along, or would we be doing it before we left? But
We're probably moving. Honestly, I don't
yeah.
see us delaying the group.
That's
Sure.
kind of what my thought was as well, yeah. So yeah, I would kind of go towards the back of the group with Walykos and say, something wrong, Walykos.
You could say that.
I don't
Adriel.
understand.
I know what you've been doing.
I do many things, Walykos, as you know. You'll have to be a bit more specific on that.
Is there anything that you want to tell me? Anything that you think that I should know?
And like Adriel kind of like thinks to himself a bit. Goes, nothing that would be of import, I don't think. Nothing in particular. I had a nice dinner with goodness, I keep forgetting her name. I keep forgetting.
Avina Honeybeak?
I'm so sorry. Yes, Avina. Yeah, I had a nice dinner with Avina. Go into detail on that if you'd like, but
No, I'm not interested in your dalliances. I know that you've been in contact with him.
contact with.
Don't lie to me.
And like Adriel will take a moment to think, like as like we're talking and walking. Say, are you talking about Craw?
I actually grab you and I push you up against the wall for a second because that makes me mad.
Yeah.
And I like one hand on your chest. I'm like, I said, don't lie to me. Do you think I'm stupid, Adriel?
Walykos, I don't know what you're talking about,
I
but
saw your footprints. I recognize your boots. I'm like hissing this, whispering, just so I know. I'm saying this in normal voice, but assume like we're kind of trailing behind. And this probably people like look over their shoulder. They might notice this, but I'm like hissing this close to your face. Like
I was going to ask if Vapor knows what's going on.
I'm fine with you noticing. You would have to make a perception check at Esper's discretion to hear how close I'm whispering to him.
Mm-hmm. I'm more like just kind of like looking and probably stopping to watch to see what's happening.
Yeah. I kind of like grab your hand a bit, like I look down, like I look at you and I say, Walykos, and like I'm also whispering as well, even if I'm talking to her. I say, Walykos, you're in public. I don't know what this is about, but perhaps we should take this somewhere private.
The footprints.
We don't have time. We don't have time for this, Walykos. We have a job that we're doing.
We do. And that's why I'm asking you this now as your friend, as basically you're like a brother to me. I need to know, what did you do, Adriel? What did he say to you?
And like again, like Adriel, like again, obviously Adriel knows what you're talking about, but he's not wanting to reveal it. So yeah, he says again, he's just like, I don't know why you thought you needed to follow me when I met with Craw, but if you must know, and I kind of look around like with people watching and say, I really would rather not discuss what I got from him at the moment.
Oh, I know what you got from him. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what you talked about with Belvander.
And like Adriel will like kind of chuckle a little bit and say, Belvander, you're accusing me of just talking with Belvander? Come now, Walykos. Really?
I saw the footprints. You think that I'm stupid? That you're gonna lie to my face and just... You're caught, Adriel. Come clean. I can help you, but only if you come clean now.
Adriel goes silent for a moment.
Do the math.
He kind of looks at you.
This is the way.
He says, I did speak with Belvander.
And the hand comes down, obviously.
Yeah. And I kind of like brushed it off a bit, stand and say, I did speak with Belvander, Walykos, but it was for a good reason. I'd be happy to explain more after we deal with this situation.
Because time is of the essence, and the city is in danger, you will be explaining this later. This conversation isn't over, Adriel.
I understand, Walykos.
But when we talk again, I expect the truth.
I have no reason to lie to you, Walykos.
You have a dozen reasons to lie to me. The real question is that who you want to be? Because it's not too late. I think that there's still a chance here that we can stop Belvander, but if you're going to lie to me and to the rest of us, he'll get what he wants. He'll see us all dead.
I want to stop Belvander as much as all of you. And if you think that is not my desire, then, well, I don't know what all of our years together have meant to you.
Hold your breath. Think carefully. If you lie to me when we speak again, then there's nothing I can do for you. And I turn and I start walking.
Adriel will kind of like stand there for a moment, like for a good few moments, like letting you go ahead of him and just kind of like, I'm assuming like you're not seeing, but kind of just like tisking to himself a little bit. Like there's like a little bit of that moment of like in his own mind, like, damn, like Walykos has like found out, and just kind of a sigh of relief that he doesn't have to deal with it right now, but also just a lot of emotions going through Adriel as well. But he will, after a few moments of gathering himself, continue with the party. And he will just kind of be in the very far back. Like, he doesn't want to be close to Walykos or the right. Like, he's just kind of by himself, walking behind, just thinking. And yeah.
And what you can't see is as soon as I turn around, like, Walykos's face is one of like pained, like anguish, and he's just. Maybe others that are looking back that way can see that for a moment. But he just like
he's
pushes.
still watching.
Yeah, he sees that you're watching him, and he just like.
Vapor only has one thing to say, and he goes, "I'm not going to ask what it was about, but I will ask this: Are you okay?"
We have work to do.
That is all I need to know. And Vapor will start walking forward, like onto their path, onto where they're actually heading to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure Corgain as well gives a look of, you know, he obviously picks up on that something is serious is going on, something's bothering Walykos, but he doesn't like tell the party to stop.
Keep going.
You hear his voice in your head, though, Walykos. Walykos. Something is bothering you. This is as everyone's walking. You can communicate with him telepathically.
Yes. Okay. Something is.
I know you've had some difficulty keeping Adriel from his wilder impulses. He's the most rebellious of this group. He likes to go and do things his own way. But can that be causing such concern at this moment, right now?
It's something that I don't know if I can help him. He's pushing me away.
The hour grows terribly late, Walykos.
I can't just let him make the same mistake that I did. I have to try to help him, Corgain, just like you helped me.
Well, just know that I am here to aid if you need me. I understand that this may be something that is just between you and Adriel, but you are not truly alone. If you need others in some capacity, say something. Give me a sign, anything.
Please. Yes, I will come to you when the time is right. I need to focus on this mission for the moment, because I don't know if I can keep myself I feel like I'm about to fly apart if I don't hold focus to this right now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. It's like a storm inside me right now, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yes, well, we are trying to hold back a storm from descending upon this city. I need you to hold together, Walykos. You're going to have to think beyond yourself for just a bit here. I don't know what's going to happen here in the next couple of days, but every move we make is going to have repercussions, for better or for worse.
Thank you, Corgain. I appreciate your words. Let's go ahead and let's do the.
I have
plan.
Some small measure of magic. I am not magi like yourselves, but I am able to give to you guiding light that can perhaps help you through moments in which you are struggling, and if needed, I can attempt to hypnotize Adriel to calm him or incapacitate him momentarily.
That's good to know. Thank you. We've agreed we're going to talk about it after this mission. Let's capture the half-dragon or kill him and secure the city. And then we can deal with my issues with Adriel.
Very well. Be strong. I'm here.
Thank you, Corbin.
So again, this is your party is moving. You're going to briefly stop by the storm tower. It's going to be fast. It's just going to be to drop off the topaz and say, "Here, we found this. See if you can utilize this in the empowering of Aygir's sword."
That is basically what he says as he hands it to him.
Okay.
And well, he does name drop. Was it Tamrak Lark?
Tamrak Larks. That's
Larks,
the topaz
Tamrak
dragon
Larks.
who dwells on the western coast in like a sea cave.
Sure. Yeah, that's he name drops Tamrak Larks. I don't know if that means anything to them, but he says something about a friend said that this name was important to the stone.
Tamrak Larks is one of the dragons of Haven Isle. A petulant, testy, foul-tempered one who prefers to live in isolation of a slowly deteriorating coast.
Well, are we not slowly deteriorating here? After
Yes.
living in this city for some time, I can say I certainly wouldn't mind a bit more isolation. Anyway, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to give you this.
Yes, Aygir.
Might
Yes,
be
to
used.
all of that, and Duncan almost looks like he's just about to break from the stress and exhaustion of it all, and he just doesn't really have a lot of patience. But he does take the gem, and he's like, "This is a wonderful topaz, and I believe I will be able to make usage of it."
You did
So-
volunteer, but let me know if you need help putting the final touches on it.
We've been working this man to death.
I
been
just
crazy.
might need that, I guess. So, come back just as soon as you can spare.
That I will.
The party's continuing on eastward through Barnacle, getting into the Commons Wing. Corgain does speak telepathically with Aygir, and then he also will with Vapor. So first with Aygir. Aygir, this is just between you and I. And he makes it known that he's speaking to you telepathically. I don't think he's communicated with you guys.
Sure.
Like this before.
Aygir,
So he's like, just
I don't know if anybody's looking at me. He
Act-
closes his
act
visor
natural.
so no one can see his face.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
act natural. Something is amiss with Adriel, and Walykos is going through a great amount of grief. You were with him when you two went off privately into the Gauntlet. I assume he spoke with you about this consternation.
So Aygir put his visor down so people can't see his face contorting as he tries to talk.
Right, maybe
telepathically
like
without
mumbling out the
talking.
words.
But without speaking them out loud, says, "Yes, though he did not tell me the cause, there's a great deal of friendship or love of a sort for Adriel. I think he wanted to protect him from myself, from Vapor, from all of us, really. I suspected something, but thank you for confirming it. What do you want me to do about it?"
Well, I don't know, actually, but you should be aware. I don't even know if Walykos would want me to be speaking with you, but I have to say something, and I'm just going to do it. So just keep your eyes open. Watch out. The sense I'm getting is that Adriel might try something stupid.
I suspect Walykos would not want you telling me this, but for that reason, I'm also glad you did.
Yes, well,
I'll make sure.
it seems to largely
not
be
to,
between Walykos and Adriel, and they have a kinship that not any of the others of our group can share. Yes, so
I should hope it stays between them.
I should greatly hope it would stay only between them.
Developed
We shall
something of
see.
respect
Just be
for.
on the lookout, and if there's anything that you think I might need to know, give me the sign, and we can
Yes,
speak
I've-
again.
Developed respect of a sort for both of them, but I think for Walykos a little bit more. So I should hope Adriel doesn't do anything to try and harm him, and only then shall I get involved.
I
Otherwise,
hope
I'll
not.
just make sure that I keep Adriel's in front of me all day. That's for sure. And I will tell you if you need to know.
Okay, and I should make it known that if you need, I can call down guiding light upon you that will lend you some aid in moments of tests of skill and mind. And
am I able to speak to you like this again?
You'll have to send me the sign. I would need to initiate it. I also could attempt to hypnotize Adriel if needed. It would render him in a sort of stupor for a time.
Aygir mimes like he's checking the fit of his helmet.
Restrain him or disarm him or something of the like.
He mimes like he's checking the fit of his helmet on his head. Obviously, it is perfect and it is completely bespoke to him, but maybe nobody else knows that, so he does that and says, that is the sign.
Okay, I'll look out for that. Now over to Vapor. Vapor, act natural. And not just because I'm speaking telepathically, but because I know that there is a sort of tension between you and Adriel, perhaps more so than anyone else in this group. Do you have suspicions that Adriel is up to something treacherous?
No more than being the hand in the ass shit that he is.
Walykos is very, very concerned. It is more than just concern. He is experiencing turmoil. I think he is attempting to keep Adriel from going off the edge. And, well, this is a delicate situation on all fronts. You might want to just leave this between Walykos and Adriel for the time being, but keep your eyes open. That may change, and the pot might boil over, and it will end up involving you and the others. So just keep your eyes open. Be aware for something unexpected, something shocking. I don't know what. If you notice anything that I should be aware of, please let me know. Send me the sign, and I will speak with you mentally as we are doing now.
Well, other than him giving the stuff, wanting the dagger from the Night Stalker.
A powerful blade, yes, but at what price?
And I believe that is what's begun his journey to what we're at now.
Yeah, yes. Well, I think it was good of you to see it destroyed, even though it did offend the others, especially Adriel. I think it was the right move in that situation. I probably would have done the same.
The magic that I felt coming off that when I detected it, it should not exist. Even though it's not completely gone, should at least negate it for a while.
Giants have tremendous strength, and their grasps are beyond the comprehension of most people. Bale seeks to wield this grasp not just through physical might, but psychically. This could have imparted something from the blade into Adriel. I don't know to what extent this could have influenced him. Walykos did not go into too many specifics, but we all have our suspicions.
Well, you'll know my signal when you see it.
Yes.
We have a job to do. Let's get done.
Yes. We will focus on the task at hand, and we will provide what aid we can to keep the Vanguard together, and that includes Adriel. He's a invaluable member of the power that you all represent.
We'll see.
Corgain does not telepathically speak to Adriel, but he does out loud in a very natural way, just at a moment that seems right. Maybe you're getting close to your destination, and Adriel and Walykos, everyone knows you guys had like an argument or something, And Corgain just, when he naturally happens to be close to you as your group is walking, he kind of gets a step closer to Adriel. Look, Adriel, I know this is a very, very difficult moment, but if you need anything, I'm here.
I don't need anything from you, Corgain. Let's just get this over with.
Okay. Best of luck.
Like, Adriel's still, like, kind of just frustrated, so he's, like, kind of taking it out a bit on Corgain now. He just kind of pushes him aside, like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anyone,
Very well, let us stay focused. Best of luck.
I don't say anything back to him. When he says best of luck, I just...
He doesn't press it. Nope. He just... Yeah. He just does it in a very light, natural sort of way, and just... yep, okay, and just keeps on going. So... Aygir, Adriel...
May I do one quick thing?
Yes.
Yeah, once we get to a spot where we're about to separate, right? Like where the groups are going to be going into different directions. Adriel will like kind of get Walykos' attention again to like have a chat with him. And assuming Walykos comes over, I don't know. Oh, you're
so
muted.
The group is like at your last point where you're together and you're about ready to like, okay, we're going to be right over there. Okay, and there, like your final little checkpoint before you go to your separate posts.
So, Walykos, once he notices that you're giving him the signal, he seems a little bit surprised, but he'll come over.
Yep. Adriel will kind of look at you and say, Walykos, I don't know exactly what has happened to make you mistrust me so, to make you have these thoughts about me, but
is this
whatever
concerning the mission?
No, but whatever's happened, Walykos, I want you to know that you are like a brother to me, and I've loved you like a brother as well. And whatever has happened, whatever will happen, I've never wanted to hurt you, and I've never wanted to do anything that would negatively impact you or this city in a bad way. I've always tried to do what I thought is best.
I know.
And Adriel will kind of nod and then kind of go out with Aygir and Corgain.
And for what it's worth, Aygir is making sure that Adriel's always in front of him, and he's trying to be subtle about it, but just doing that.
And he turns around and surprises you from the front.
Yeah, I almost imagine actually, like while we're moving, it's like I almost feel like there's almost a disconnect where like Adriel is sort of in the front and Corgain and Aygir in the back. Like it's like this separation. Like we are in the group, but like there's
a gap.
Yeah, there's like a gap. Both
Aygir subtly does some feigned like, oh, so you're really a dragon? That's amazing. I have to know more. This changes everything. I've never met a dragon before. And going on and on about like acting like he's. I mean, he is, but like he's even more excited than he is about just trying to pick Corgain's brain.
Corgain's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
It gives him an excuse. It gives him an excuse to be back there with him like that.
Yeah.
With Adriel in the front. Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like there's not going to be any major discussion. You all don't really have time for it. So Adriel, Aygir, and Corgain are stationed at like the quay, or some would pronounce it the quay. They're at Haven's Port, the very southern end of it, where it's at the verge of Shackle Downs. Okay, so the three of you are posted up there, and you have a view of everything that's happening in the port district, and there's less chaos than there was previously before your party came and helped things, but still there is a bit of a buzz about the place of some people, trying to like get goods from the port to store them somewhere on land, people talking about war oncoming. There's a tenseness throughout the whole city. Vapor, Walykos, and Arachno split off going southwards. So there's the warehouse, an abandoned or defunct warehouse. It has a secret tunnel underneath. It leads to like a little underground layer. There's a pool. At the depth of the pool, there's this big metal grated gate that seems to have like a magnetic opening that aligns or associates with the underwater vessel. Then there's this underwater tunnel. It's a pretty large one, maybe a 20-foot diameter roughly. And then that goes eastwards for a ways, like through the rock of the ground, and then comes out underwater there at the eastern coast of Southern Barnacle. So Arachno and Walykos are posted up there, just like imagine the big stone city wall, and on the other side of the wall there's like the cliffs going down to the crashing waves and the spray of the ocean. They are posted up sort of at that wall. Maybe they're just like, looking out, so it's not easy to see them, but they have a view there of the sea. And then Vapor, you are going to go... are you going to go in through the warehouse, or are you going to go in through the sea entrance?
I'm going to go for the sea entrance, but this is where it gets fun. He's going to look to Walykos and Arachno and go, I can't climb down this easily.
Well, you have levitate, but if you want to...
I was wondering if some of you had some extra rope that I could use to shimmy down.
Says Arachno.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Because I'd rather save levitate to at least get out.
Yep. He affixes with just like these speedily deft hands, affixes this kind of grapple claw, expandable grapple claw, hops onto the top of the stony wall there, and it's like, hold on tight.
Hold on.
He takes you down.
He looks up at Walykos.
You rappel down.
Word.
Just to be explicit, I did give you the trident. You've attuned to it in our time, I assume.
All right, he rappels you down, and then you've got your foot on these rocks at the base of the sea cliff. We've got ocean spray, crashing there against the bases of these rocks. It's really a force of nature.
Vapor looks at the crashing waves, looks to Arachno. Thank you. If I find anything, I'll send the signal. And then dives in.
Okay. You dive, and you go under the water. And how strong of a swimmer are you? For narrative reasons, is my concern mainly.
I would say he's not super strong swimmer, but he's definitely knows how to swim. He grew up in the steam curtains.
Okay.
So he knows how to swim.
So there's the force of the waves, and that's pretty powerful. But if you're even a moderately good swimmer, you can kind of navigate through that. You're not in the middle of a sea storm or anything.
Yeah, I figured you'd be able to do that safely, at least.
You don't swim through it like a fish, but you can more or less get your way through it. And they kind of pull you and tossle you around a bit, but you get down there, and you can just have sort of infinite air in your lungs. You can hold your breath indefinitely as an air. You have like an innate elemental affinity with the air element, and you go underwater. And are you going into the tunnel, just outside the tunnel, hiding somewhere amongst just like rocks at the seabed?
Well, he's going to kind of look around before he enters the tunnel, trying to see if there's any sign that the submersible has come through.
Okay.
Or not.
So I'm going to do perception checks for everybody. We're going to start with Vapor, though, since you're the one down here. Give me a perception check. It's going to be with disadvantage.
Boy, first rolls of the night. Let's go.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I just want to check. I think I got rid of the spell, but I want to be safe. If you were to cast Dark Vision, would that negate the disadvantage?
Probably not, because it goes out to 60 feet, and you're looking at something farther than 60 feet away. So go ahead and save your spell slot.
Okay, I was just wondering if that, because I know underwater, the deeper you go, the darker it gets. So I was wondering if it might help with negate some of that.
It's not terribly dark at the moment, but it's certainly dim.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we need to see how long this will take of you waiting down there.
Yeah. Okay, give me a second. You wanted...
Give me a perception check with
Perception?
disadvantage. Yeah.
4.
Okay, so you look, and you can, you're opening your eyes there in this briny water. Gets pretty dim and murky, not too far out. No, it's visual conditions down here are not good. Do you want to post up there outside the water tunnel? Do you want to go into it? What do you want to do?
I'm going to go in. He just wants to see if the submersible's in already.
Okay, so sounds like you're going to go in and take a look, and then if it's not there, you're going to come back out.
And so where he's going to do it is he's going to try to stay as close to the ceiling as he can.
Okay.
So he doesn't stir up the floor, the seabed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go in, just entering in the very top of this roughly cylindrical shaped tunnel.
Yeah, and I also
it has this texture like it has been like hewn through it with some kind of crude implement. It's not it's not particularly smooth. It's not made to look good. Just something. It looks like something just tunneled through it. It really looks like a creature that would tunnel. Clawed through this. So you go through, swimming and maybe even pulling yourself along as you need. You're not a super fast swimmer, but you can hold your breath indefinitely, so that's fine. The pressure is kind of giving you a headache, but you power through it. There's important stuff going on here. You eventually get through the long tunnel. You come up. The iron, thick grated gate is shut, of course. You do not see the vessel above that. He's not here currently, as far as you can tell. At least the submersible is not here. You head back through the tunnel, and you do what you can to kind of hide and post up behind a rock there at the seabed. There aren't any large rocks, but there are some kind of mid-sized ones, so I imagine you just kind of flatten yourself down, and it's mostly got you covered up.
Well, he also has his cloak that he can put on, wrap himself up in to make himself darker to blend in as much as he can.
Okay, cool.
And
is this just the natural coloration of the cloak, or is it a magic item?
It's just a natural color.
Okay, so you've got this, neutral colored cloak, and you wrap that about yourself. You flatten out. You get behind these kind of medium-sized rocky protrusions there at the bottom, amongst the silt and a bit of kelp. And here and there you do see a fish swim by, so it is about what you would expect it to be. Nothing is happening currently. Walykos and Arachno, have you two make perception checks. Arachno climbed back up and retracted his some kind of grapnel apparatus, even though he himself doesn't need that for climbing.
Same. Yeah, I understand. Let's see. 17.
Okay, so you're looking out. Arachno does about as good as you, maybe slightly better.
Yeah.
There are boats is the main thing that you see. A scattering of boats that from the people that fled Haven's Port, and they went southward through the coastal waters. And they are scattered pretty much as far as you can see. Most of them are still heading southward. A couple seem to have anchored, so maybe they're waiting to see, if nothing else happens.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go back to port. But most of them are heading southbound. You imagine several of them are so far gone you can't even see them, so you're not even seeing the full extent. But there are, several of them that you do see sailing or rowing along the south by southwestern trailing coast. Otherwise, nothing else catches your eye. Just, some seabirds here and there.
This is a classic stakeout. We know
classic stakeout.
Real boring for a while, potentially.
So it is boring, and after a while, Arachno says, I wonder if Corgain has any information. I'm going to go check with him. I can get to them pretty quickly, and I'll come back.
Sounds good. I'll wait here in case a signal is sent.
Okay.
And
meanwhile, the other group, Corgain does not really sit still. He's very active. He almost has an antsy, hyperactive way about him. His behavior, like the way he talks and comports himself, is not like finicky or erratic or anything, but he seems to always be wanting to be on the move. And he's been talking to a lot of people. And he will even make usage of his shape-changing abilities. At some point, he'll come back, and when, at a location where there's enough cover where people can't really see him, he'll shape-shift himself to appear as like a different elf of Barnacle. And so he's gathering information, and here and there you see he's even like helping people, like, if there's an attack, you're gonna lose that, so you need, move it over there on the other side. So he has a kind of general helpful nature about himself. He seems to kind of take time to give tips to people, but he's mainly concerned with gathering information. Are Adriel and Aygir doing anything in particular during the
probably
post?
Not anything in particular. Just kind of keeping an eye out, looking out. A little, like, not like a little, he finds Corgain's like actions a little strange based off of how he has come to know Corgain. Like, he didn't appear to be like a very hyperactive kind of person, but like now he's seeing that, so it's he's a little
hyper might have been the wrong way to describe it. I would say he's never just sitting there. Mm-hmm. If he does, it's just to like relay something, and he just has this practical, I need to be productive way about him. Which that's kind of how he's always been. He comes and goes a lot, and he's always busy doing something.
Yeah, he's restless.
But he himself is not like, he does not.
Yeah, of course.
He's not a spaz.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I guess Adriel, just in general. I mean, he'd probably be like walking around a little bit here and there, but like not as much as Corgain. Kind of not talking to other people, just keeping to himself mainly, but just looking around the building, walking around, keeping an eye out, looking at multiple vantage points, but generally in the same area,
Aygir of the three is the most noticeable. I think he's, at least in elven form, or in humanoid form, the tallest, and he's dressed in a very outlandish style for barnacles. He's sort of not moving any more than he needs to, maybe keeping like a cloak hood drawn over his helmet and everything, and he's sort of pondering that topaz gem and maybe a dream or a vision he had not too long ago that is why he ended up learning a new spell that he learned. And he's wondering if the two things are connected while he recites the mantra of an incantation to cast that spell, because it's one that he thinks he might need to use in the very near future. So he's just going over and over with it in his head just to make sure he remembers it. Also, he's definitely glancing over at Adriel every now and then to keep a special eye on him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
While hopefully not getting noticed.
All right, you make it nonchalant. I'm going to roll Corgain's charisma check here with his information gathering. So he essentially says to the two of you that he hasn't turned up any additional information that's noteworthy. Arachno does come at a point, checks in with you all. You all kind of status update. Nothing major has happened. And then Arachno goes back to Walykos. So it is really just a waiting game. So now the question becomes, how long are you guys willing to wait? Time is passing.
I will have to wait a bit longer. Obviously, like probably after Arachno gives us the information, I'll probably look at Corgain and Aygir and say, should I perhaps go in and sneak in, see if I can find out any information? Maybe he's already there and Vapor just missed it.
Aygir says no. we wait for the sign. That's the plan. That's the only plan. We don't deviate.
Saying if Vapor missed him going in and he's already in there, he might start going out and Vapor won't have a chance to stop him.
He's already in there. Arachno would let us know something. Walykos will show up. We will find out. Going in now.
Let's stay together, Adriel.
Yes.
Adriel was a little annoyed by it because he thinks that it would be better for him to go in. Maybe for personal reasons. But
Yeah, no, of course he thinks it's better for him to separate himself from the group right now. Gee, I wonder why that might be.
Are you all willing to wait here for many hours?
if it gets to another hour, Adriel will like, and no sign has come up. So like another hour passes, like Adriel will mention it again and be like, I really think that I need to get in there. Or you go in there. Corgan, if you think that you can.
Our plan was to wait here.
Plans can change, Aygir.
Arachno is going to come back and check in again. We'll have him go take a look, and then he can tell us. He can confirm
That is
for
a
us.
sound idea. See, Adriel, people are thinking of these things, so you don't have to.
All right. Well, wait. When he says he go to, is he referencing Vapor? When
Corgain says that Arachno is going to. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. I just got confused about who was referring to who.
Yeah. So Arachnoid said that he will go check something.
When the next time Arachno comes to check in with you guys, you can have tell him, hey, go inside the secret layer. Just make sure that the half dragon's not actually there, just without the submersible.
Yeah, you said it right though. You said Corgain was saying that about Arachno.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
There was just
misunderstood.
a confusion moment of like, wait, who's?
I thought you said Arachnoid said he will go search, and I didn't know if he was referencing me, Corgain, or Vapor. So I was just confused there, but it was okay. I understand.
So, so I can speed this all up. Arachno comes, checks in with you all. You all tell him of your idea. Make sure the half dragon isn't actually in the secret layer. Arachno checks that. He is not there. Nobody's there. Indeed, the submergible's not there. So it's truly a waiting game. So I really want to know, are you guys willing to wait many hours?
The answer from Walykos is yes.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the plan.
I'm perfectly willing to let people cycle through. Like, if they're like, I can't sit here this long, it's like, okay, we need to keep someone atop the cliff.
I mean, eventually, people have to relieve themselves and get something to eat and drink. But the general idea is that you keep to the post.
Like, if you need half an hour to do your business, go ahead, come back as soon as you're done.
Okay, is that a collective yes?
Yeah, Adriel's good to go too.
Okay.
The only one
I'm going to roll a thing, but I need
option.
to roll for stuff that is a deal.
Yeah. Vapor's the only one who's kind of stuck.
Right, because he's underwater. Yeah.
You're gonna have like really like bad hair day.
He's gonna be cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hypothermia. It's bad stuff.
That is a good point. That is a very good point. Vapor.
That'll be fine.
It does get pretty damn cold. Just sitting there in the water.
He has troll's blood.
Do you have a countermeasure for that?
Well, other than the troll's blood, let me look.
Just firebolt yourself.
Sorry to have been that guy that reminds the class we have homework.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I did mentally note that earlier, but then I got wrapped up in the dozen other things that are going on.
The funny thing is, like, usually people aren't underwater for like
do you have
hours and hours and
prestidigitation?
hours. So yeah.
Yes, I do.
Do you? Give me a Charisma Arcana check.
Yeah, because you can like warm yourself up. Be like.
Oh, that is not good.
You can do it. It's your charisma.
5.
Okay, so you attempt to like heat the water around you, and it's not working out like you would hope.
I know we don't have a druid, but this would be a fun time for an interesting
like
use of heat metal.
you do heat the water, but then that water just immediately gets swept away by other cold water, and it's not helping you enough as you would wanted. So remain where you are, and we'll probably move to Constitution checks, or
you want to
alter your plan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I do have proficiency in Arcana, but I rolled it with just the charisma modifier. Should I add my proficiency bonus?
Yes.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should.
You're
Because he
supposed
said
to take
Arcana.
your
Yeah,
that
you
would have
should.
made it an 8, so I don't think it would have made much
I
of
don't
a
think
difference.
8? No, it doesn't even crack an easy DC. So
Okay, I figured, but I wanted to just check.
who has
Yeah,
inspiration? Just to refresh.
Well,
Is it Walykos? Okay.
Yeah, well, I should say technically I have it on my sheet, but it's been like 2 sessions, and I assumed I don't have it anymore. So
Yeah, it's probably from the.
Yeah.
We'll go with
got it.
we'll stay with Walykos.
yeah,
having
I
it.
think it's
Okay,
just
so.
Walykos
Vapor-
having it.
All right,
Vapor's
so
gonna
Vapor.
do-
Any other creative solutions?
Vapor's going to do one last look around before he swims up to the surface and pulls himself out.
Yeah, it's a pretty mundane thing. Is what it is.
Yeah.
You're in very cold
Yeah.
water and you're sitting there
Yeah.
for a long time, so that starts to make you very, very cold and could potentially lead to a hypothermia situation. You wouldn't go from fine to dead. I'd probably have you make like a Constitution check.
Yeah.
It's probably
And-
a collection of checks
Yeah.
No,
until.
he does also need to eat as well. You remember, he can hold his breath, but he can't eat or drink while he's under there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's coming up real quickly, kind of like drying himself off, warming up. Oh, if Walykos is up there, he can see that he's eating and
Yeah.
drinking real quickly.
Okay,
I
so
will climb down. Once I
Vapor
see-
takes a break. He comes out of the water. He eats. He uses prestidigitation to like dry himself and maybe warm his clothes or some such. That does help you. Walykos comes to
Yeah, what's
lend
what's
some
going on?
aid.
Yeah, what's wrong, Vapor?
No movement. Water's starting to chill me a little too much, and need food and water.
Vapor is his lips are
This
getting
was the
pale
only-
and he's shivering.
Yeah, I'm actually rubbing my hands together like right
Yeah.
now.
Walykos just pushes you back in the water. Get back to
back
your
in
job.
there.
Yeah.
give me a minute.
Here's
Yeah.
a blanket.
I'll go
No,
once I'm back warm up. I'll go back, double check
That's fine.
if he's in there.
Don't get yourself killed. If you have to come back up, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're fishing here. If it doesn't work perfectly, we'll adapt. But
I did.
Yeah.
Do you have a balloon or something? Because I'm gonna check the tunnel again
Well,
to see if he might came in while I'm up here warming up.
yeah.
He wasn't
well,
in there when I.
You've got the trident, right? You'll just use it on a fish or something, right?
I'm gonna release the balloon if he's not in there. If he's in there, I'll send the fish. Just
Well,
so that
you'll
way
just-
we know.
Well, you'll just send the. Well, you're assuming that if we don't see a balloon, something happened to you. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Well. Yeah, I can pull out a bladder that we have here.
Just to be on the safe side, because we did come
Yeah.
up with something that.
Well, we'll
something
trap
that
some
happened.
air in it and tie it off, and cork it or whatever.
So
Just a quick question: how long?
yeah, I
does
mean, you could probably use
prestidigitation-
prestidigitation to send a
what
sign
I
to
was-
somebody that's nearby. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
easy
About
enough
to
just to send like a big bubble through the water that like pops in a special
never mind.
color
Yeah,
or something.
then we'll do that then.
Yeah.
Here, Vapor. Though, let me see if the others have some way of keeping you warm down there.
Yeah,
We'll
that'd be
send
nice.
Arachno to go talk to them. Maybe they have something that you don't have to, keep coming back up for.
I'd rather not have to come up every so often to spend a half hour warming up.
Yeah, if I had something myself, I just have good berries, unfortunately, and they do not do anything other than nourish you. Oh, you want a good berry? You want
That
me
would
to eat for
actually
the
be
rest
very
of the day?
helpful.
All right, I cast
That
good
would
berry.
let me stay down there if we can keep me warm somehow.
Yeah, I give you like 10 good berries just in case you need them. So that's a spell.
He
slot.
eats one right away, then puts the other like in a watertight pouch.
You feel completely full and like you've drinking. You don't feel thirsty or hungry anymore.
Yeah.
You have 9 other good berries just in case. He'll hit point each. Takes an action to eat a berry.
Okay.
Anyways,
So you all do what you can to help make the best out of your situation. It's
well, Esper,
largely
I was going to
Oh.
ask, does Arachno have a way of helping him in any way that you're aware of? Or Corgain, because Arachno will go ask Corgain and the others.
I'm just checking over.
Mhm.
Not really.
Yeah, it
No.
would require some sort of resistance, I would say, to cold.
Adriel's cool with just forcing him to stay in the water. Just want to make that very clear.
Yes,
Of course.
I would figure that one out myself.
Okay, so I do feel a need to have Vapor make the Constitution check just because the realities of that are pretty harsh. I will give you advantage, though, because you've taken a break, and even though the prestidigitation didn't just fix the problem for you, it has to help to some amount, especially if you continually cast it, which you have nothing but time down there, so I imagine you
standing out in the
could.
cold
So
and
make a Constitution check with advantage.
Got this.
Okay, now they up real nicely.
You cut out there.
Oh, unnatural 20.
Oh, dirty
Okay.
20.
Yep.
You're holding out.
Yeah. I think he's also figured out he's got a couple of water skins, so he's casting precipitation on those water skins themselves. The water in those water skins to warm that water.
You're finding
up to the
creative
water.
solutions, yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing what you can.
So-
You're holding
yeah.
out.
This would be like when like the spell heat metal would be like a really
It
useful.
would have been really
Yeah.
well. Yes and no,
So
because
useful.
it would create a boiling point in the water,
Oh, true.
which would either give him away or send the wrong signal.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I was thinking of like heating a piece of metal and putting in like a cloth and then like taking it down.
You could
I don't
probably
know.
cast heat metal like less powerfully to where it just warms it up, but doesn't actually burn.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to something that is more noteworthy.
Oh.
You all said that you're willing to wait for many hours, and indeed you do wait for many hours. And you spend the day, and the sun goes down, and night falls. And about an hour after nightfall, a dark shape comes looming ahead, Vapor. You don't see it very much in the distance because your visibility is not great. But it comes. A massive underwater vessel, and it has some sort of arcane propulsor on the back, enters the underwater tunnel.
Vapor, as soon as sees it goes into the tunnel, uses the trident, commands the biggest creature in the area to be the signal showing it's gone in.
Walykos and Arachno, you have been patiently waiting. And if it wasn't for the dire nature of the situation, you would have probably been bored. But there's a conviction that's fueling you.
And there's tricks to staking out things out. Like, that's why we're in partners, so that one of us can stay sharp, the other can take a break,
Sure.
rest his mind, and then the other one stays sharp. Yeah.
You don't notice that there was only this little fish, but then Vapor maybe put an effect on it to help them notice it a little bit better. I rolled for what was immediately nearby, and there's only like a perch-sized thing.
Yeah.
Is this purple, now green, now blue, now
Okay,
yellow?
so
That's the
you
signal.
didn't. Yeah, you don't notice it at first, and then Vapor is like, oh, they're not going to see this little fish at night, and he puts this glowing rainbow effect, and like the fish jumps out purple, then it jumps out blue, and Ragno's like, okay, that's unmistakable. That's it.
That's it. Ragno, go tell the others. I'm gonna climb partway down the cliff and be ready to help if this goes sideways.
I don't know why.
Walykos,
but
you
in
scout
particular-
on the cliff to get closer to where Vapor is underwater. Arachno begins to fly, figuratively speaking, as fast as he can along the seawall, gets to Adriel, Aygir, and Corgain.
Sure. Esper, real quickly. Would Vapor figure out how long it would take for that vessel to get in to its berth?
You could just give
Not-
yourself
not that
some
long.
leeway. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't take very long. Just
The reason I ask
few
is-
rounds, maybe. He'd be opening the gate, so maybe a minute.
Okay, the reason I asked is because he is going to upcast Shatter and try to see if he can bring down the cliff to block.
But you want to wait till he's in the garage.
yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
All right, so Vapor's like, ding, 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 like the countdown's going in his mind.
Yeah.
So this happens before Arachno reaches the party. Arachno's not far because you guys are at the very southern end of the wharf, but it'll take Arachno a couple minutes to get to the party. So Vapor, you do that before Arachno gets to them.
And just to be safe, I have a swim speed of 35 feet, so that's why I'm going down the cliff. I'm probably gonna, once I see or feel the shatter, you know, like I will.
Okay, so Walykos, you're ready to like dive in at a moment's notice. And Vapor, what sort of upcast are we talking about here? Like a 4th level shatter?
I am burning my only 4th level spell slot to bring down the cliff.
Okay.
And
also immediately before. Oh, okay. Actually, I was gonna ask
not the entire
how they were
cliff
planning on
hopefully.
notifying the rest, but I think the noise might actually. Yeah.
so the other thing is, I know the other week we talked about having a wild magic surge to increase by 1 damage dice. Can we also have that happen to increase the power of the hit?
Do you want to use
the
oh, you don't have
Feywild
that item,
shard.
right? Yeah, the shards with the shards with at the storm tower.
Yeah.
Give me
he wants to
you tell
bring
me
this thing-
what you can pick out a skill or describe some kind of approach or way that you're trying to make best usage of your magic.
Okay, so
Like you could do something intelligence to look for the exact right place to focus the center of the shatter. You could use maybe something charisma to like over channel yourself and potentially hurt yourself, but
yeah, that's what he's wanting
amp up
to do.
the
It's like
magic.
He is trying to literally create the magic, like build up the magic as if it was going to surge, but then release it at the same time into his spell to increase its potency.
Okay. Very well. How many sorcery points would you be willing to spend?
How many sorcery points do I have?
Equal to
Should
your
be your
level,
level.
so you'll have 7.
7.
Unless you took that metamagic feat.
I did take a metamagic feat.
Oh,
You
okay.
took
Well,
the
that would give
metamagic
you
adept.
2
2.
more?
Yeah, so I have 9.
You have 9.
Um,
You're casting it as a 4th level spell?
yeah.
Okay.
So
It takes 6 sorcery points to equivalate a 4th level spell slot. So would you be willing to do 6 sorcery points?
yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not?
Okay.
Let's burn 6 sorcery points as well.
All right, you burn 6 sorcery points. You put a shatter at a 4th level, and you pour through yourself all of the force of wild magic that you can potentially tap into. Give me it's charisma again. I think let's do charisma arcana again.
For 1.
Oh my. This hurts.
That would be.
Can I
7.
throw my
This
inspiration
hurts.
his way?
Sure. You want to
Is it-
give
I'll
give
him-
your inspiration to him? All
I
right.
would like to give
Vapor.
my inspiration.
All right.
Reroll for advantage.
This is
I've
a
got
pretty cool
your
thing.
pain dice right here, ready to go.
You're shit. 2 natural ones.
Oh gosh!
Throw that dice away, Vapor. What is wrong?
All right.
There were 2 different dice.
Actually, really, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh, throw that hand away that rolled the dice.
All right.
Now,
Never
that
use
means-
that
Unfortunately, I
hand
need
again.
that hand.
That means it was the gods that did it.
You
That's
yourself take 21 thunder damage that cannot be reduced in any way.
Fine.
As you feel like your very head is exploding, like your whole body feels like it's exploding as you're casting this. And you burst through this big chunk of tunnel, a sizable amount of rock collapses in, but it doesn't completely collapse it. It didn't turn out
Doesn't
quite
need
like
to.
you'd wanted to. Your channel was quite wild. Roll a
Yeah.
wild magic surge to boot.
Real quickly, how much of the tunnel is blocked?
Oh, maybe half of it.
That's more
You
than
probably
yeah,
have
that
probably have to like ram to bust through.
Okay. Well, magic surge. Here we come.
number is it?
13. I don't have the table open with me.
I
right
have
now.
the
Give me a
table
second.
open. You cast confusion centered on yourself.
You're confused.
Well, he's not confused. He's centered on himself.
That's perfect.
Oh, I see.
That
Okay,
is
okay.
perfect. All right. So Vapor,
It's a
it's quite
10-foot
wild what you do, and you feel like almost your own body is rupturing or exploding as you channel this thunder through the rock. A chunk of it like collapses down. You've got like the entrance of the tunnel like halfway blocked. He'd probably have to do some serious ramming to get through that, but he could do that. And then this strange wild magic effect just seeps out of you. Make a wisdom saving throw.
So right now he is literally dazed and confused.
That's true. If he fails this, yeah. We can hear you.
18. Can you hear me, guys?
18? Okay. So that's obviously your DC is not higher than 18. So your mind gets like rattled for a second, but then you pull yourself to your senses. This is no time for me to be exploding myself or losing my mind. Let's see, Walykos, do you have an immediate reaction to this, this quaking beneath your feet?
As soon as I feel it go off, I dive into the water and I'm swimming looking for vapor.
Okay, you dive into the water. There's a shock of the cold water just runs right over you. And you just you power through that and you go swimming towards vapor.
Do the rest of us also hear this?
I don't think it was quite so big to reach what would be the equivalent of blocks of distance.
So then we do still need a
signal. Arachno is making his way. He's going to get to you soon, but I need to know what happens before Arachno gets there.
Now.
We can. I'll say this for the group at the Shackle Downs. Arachno is going to get to you in a couple minutes. You guys are going to muster, and it's going to take you a few minutes to get to that warehouse. So we've got this countdown for Arachno, Adriel, Aygir, and Corgain. Well, actually, Arachno will get there faster. Arachno.
The ticking of the clock. 24.
Yeah, Arachno's going to get back in 2 minutes, and then the rest of the party, Corgain, Adriel, Aygir, will get there. Oh, I wonder if there's a faster way. Oh, there is. Oh, there really is. Okay. It's night. It's dark. Corgain's going for it. He unfurls his wings to his true form. Get on! Just shouts to Adriel and Aygir.
Oh.
First I meet a dragon, now I'm going to ride a dragon.
Shut up! It's night, no one's seeing this.
As he's saying that, he's getting on board. But behind Adriel.
Okay, so actually the dragon with the other two are going to get there before Arachno. So you guys will get there in just 1 minute. He flies very fast.
Sure.
Vapor, what are you doing?
I was going to say, when Walykos dives in and starts looking for vapor, he probably sees vapor with steam around, the water's kind of bubbling around him because of the magic surge, and vapor's kind of not hanging, floating limp, but it looks like he's in pain. He's hurting.
Remember the good berries. I telepathically send you, but not really.
Yeah, but but you can see he's hurt. Whatever he did.
I swim to you like an arrow. I'm faster than fish in the water, really. So I'm right there with you. And
once you get there and he sees you, he gives the signal, get him up, because he's hurting.
I point to the tunnel, and I'm
he gives the okay. He's in.
Okay, and I'll swim you up to the surface in a single round because I'm just pulling you.
Okay. So we'll say that round is you guys getting up to the surface. Walykos, you saw the entrance to the tunnel. It's partially collapsed. Would involve some ramming to break free of it, but could be done.
It's something.
You get to the surface, so you two can freely talk.
Yeah. He's
right. It didn't look like it was fully collapsed.
My plan didn't work. This plan like I wanted. I tried to surge the magic to bring down the cliff to block it completely. It didn't.
Well, you did good. You did good, but we need to do it again. We need to seal more of the tunnel. Do you still have any magic left in you?
Not as powerful as that one, but I can try.
It doesn't have to be that powerful. Smaller blows can still fell a dragon. So let's do this.
Don't I know that? Give me a second to catch my breath. And he pulls up the rest of the good berries and just downs all of them right there.
Yeah, just shoving them in your mouth.
Right,
That's fine.
you shove the good berries in your mouth.
And as he's chewing, he's like he's looking at the cliff, trying to figure out where else he can just start raining shatters on this thing just to drop.
Well, the tunnel inside the tunnel is the best place, I think. But what we'll do is you still have that dimension, or no, you don't have.
I don't.
I was hoping that you would have saved that. Do you still have your boom step, or was that also?
That's the shadow door, or the dimension door.
Dimension door, got it.
Yeah.
He's out of 4th level stuff.
I know. I got that.
All right. Time is of the essence.
So we got to seal the tunnel. Let's go.
They'll dive back down, and right above the inside of the tunnel's lip, he's going to cast his shatters at
3rd level, 2nd level.
All the levels.
I'm going to say 2nd level because he wants to keep his 3rd levels. So I'm going to expend all 3 my level 2 slots to cast shatter.
Well, remember to do a wild magic each time check because you might just trigger a wild magic. You never know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is what I would consider just...
I do have a surge.
Do you?
On my second
What is with
spell.
you and the natural ones, man?
That's
Hey, super chats, Cobalt Skin and Warsor. Hey, man, thank you. It's your birthday, but you're giving me the present. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. In my typical tradition with super chats, if you have any suggestion of something that you would like me to improvise or slip in, usually it's on like the enemy or environment side of things. Doesn't have to be. It could be story-based stuff. Leave a comment and let me know, and I'll see what I can.
Send Adriel some help, guys. Come on.
If you want to send Adriel some help, okay. So go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. And thank you very much.
I think it would be way too self-serving for me to.
So I'm gonna keep this at sort of a round by round tracking here because it's one of those moments where time really does matter. So Vapor, what you're doing now is really just kind of a standard shatter spell. We're just gonna run it like a standard shatter spell, and I'm just gonna see how much additional rubble or chunks of rock you can break down. So just cast your spell, just roll the damage, and let me know what you get.
Give me 1 second. I want to see what I got on the search table.
Okay.
I cast mirror image.
Well, that's cool.
Myself.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's a cool spell.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but there's now a second one of them. Give me one more second. Okay, no, that was the only search.
Very well. Okay, go ahead and just roll the spell damage.
Yeah, I'm looking up my damage on it because I don't have that written down. Okay, 3d8. Wow. Okay. Gather the dice I need.
More sound effects. I'm going to take that as me doing the sound effects.
16.
This is MIRRORMOURN Police Academy now.
And 17
again. Yeah.
All right, what'd you get? 15 damage?
15, 9, no, 16, 9, and 17.
16, 9, and 17.
Yep.
Okay, you've got a total of 42 points of damage. Okay. You bring down the equivalent of 2 medium-sized spaces of chunks of rock down, piles on top of the bigger chunk that's already down there, and kind of around it and adjacent to it. So surely that would make it that much more difficult for him to bash through. It's just at a glance, it's still pretty clear that he could break through that, but it ain't gonna be easy. Corgain arrives with Aygir and Adriel. He swoops down, lands at the sea coastal rocks, or just like lands on the largest boulder he can find. So you are all essentially above where Walykos and Vapor are under the water. Adriel, Aygir, what do you do? It's night.
I mean, I assumed that the plan was for us to go in, right? Like, to stop him from escaping from that side. So yeah, Adriel's going to immediately hop off and just start making his way forward.
Aygir right behind. As they're doing that, he does whisper, "Okay, now you can go in."
Yep. Adriel doesn't have any quick quip to say to that. He just goes quickly.
Aygir and Adriel jump into the water.
Wait, I thought we were going.
We're going through the warehouse.
You're going through the warehouse.
Yeah, we're going through the warehouse. We're not. We're going on the other side basically, so that he doesn't have a way out. Yeah.
Yes, they're going below. We're going above. We're going to travel the train.
Adriel, Aygir, and Corgain get into the warehouse, and you are hastening, right, hustling as fast as you can to get through it. There's probably like the final casting of Shattering of Vapor actually happens after that, so you do hear some kind of boom. It's certainly muted out and distant, but you're like,
Aygir actually
stuff is still happening.
He knows Shatter as well. I would hope he recognizes the sound as that, not as extra.
I think it's
trouble.
Pretty safe to assume that's what's going on.
Since it might matter, I just want to point this out. Adriel is trying to move ahead of Corgain and Aygir here. He's trying to go faster and get inside quicker than them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I can do it faster than Aygir. Don't know about Corgain.
Well, remember, Aygir's speed is actually 35 feet.
I have 35 too, but I also have Cunning Action and can dash twice.
Sure. I don't know that we're in an initiative yet, but all right.
True, but I don't know how I just... Yeah. Okay. I didn't know. I just wanted to... Right. Yeah, I didn't know how relevant that would be. I just wanted to point that out just in case it does matter.
Sure, that's fine. It is kind of a
semi-initiative.
So, Adriel, you speed ahead. You're very quick. And
I am trying not to let him out of my sight.
Okay.
See, I will say, like,
Aygir
part
and
of my
Corgain
reason
are behind you,
to get out of
but Adriel is starting to outpace them. You run to, the far side of the main storage room of the storehouse. Open up the disguised trapdoor in the floorboards, go down the steps, and are just like sprinting through this burrowed-out tunnel.
Again, to explain what, like, I am explicitly trying to get to Jib before Aygir and Corgain. Like, I want to get there before them, like, very explicitly here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so if he does get to the point where he's out of sight of the other two, Aygir does showily adjust his helmet, and we'll wait for Corgain to initiate that.
All right, so I'm trying to juggle everything in my mind. I think I see a flow of events here.
There's a lot happening.
Vapor and Walykos. After you have brought down some additional chunks of rock, what do you do immediately after that?
Well, I want to look through and see if the gate is still shut, if it's opening, what's happening, if we can
Do you want to enter the water tunnel? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, so where is the collapse? At the end of the water tunnel?
At the entrance.
Oh, I thought it was a little bit in. Okay. I'm going to point up and go up so we can talk, do the point up. And so we go up. And I'll say, the others are probably grouping up top. We need someone to watch this entrance, though, if he tries to make a run for it. Are you fine, staying down here?
I'll keep him in.
Okay. I'll have Corgain...
Vapor, you're going to stay there?
Yeah. Just be ready to do something if he tries to get into his boat.
You see Vapor closes one eye because he's got a cough over the other one, and Stormcloud
and mirror image currently with duplicates of you.
Yeah, Storm's clouds start forming. He's prepping his his.
But you're not
spells.
casting it just yet, right?
No. He's
Okay.
he's just summoned the. So pretty much what he's done is call lightning, but he's not calling down the spells yet.
Just know that if you prep a spell and you don't use it, you lose it.
No, so
Yeah.
he's cast it in preparation of being ready in need of calling it down.
So you're saying that you are casting it, though?
Yeah.
You are
yeah,
readying
yeah.
the spell, essentially.
Well, he's not readying
No,
it. He's casting.
He's
it.
cast.
Oh, he's
It's
casting.
a, it's
oh,
a concentration thing. I'm like, I think that's a little. Okay, what do you do?
Vapor, are you wanting to actually cast the spell right now, or is this more just like a prestidigitation type effect that's signaling you are entering into this stormy mode?
No, he is casting the spell because he's already burnt his 4th level spot. He's burnt all his 2nd level spells.
He just wants to be ready to. So he
yeah.
could ready an action to send the bolt down, I guess,
Yeah.
once the spell's cast, because it
Yeah.
takes an action each round, which
It's
it's
So
more
he's-
reactive. It lets him be a little more reactive.
yeah. So he is trying to get himself as many advantages as he
How
can
long
in
does
this
the spell
situation.
last, though?
I think it's concentrate for a
is-
minute. Up to 10 minutes.
10 minutes,
Nice.
which should be more than enough
Nice.
time.
Well, if this fight isn't over in 10 minutes, then we have other issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Vapor, you are now commanding a storm, and there are some rumbles and even some like licks of lightning from cloud to cloud. And well, we've all seen this before. So
Yeah,
any
so
moment
Vapor
now,
goes
you're gonna
back
start
under-
calling down bolts.
So Vapor's going to head back down, but instead of hiding, he is going to sit with the mirror image out in front,
Okay.
as a sign of you're not
All right.
getting mine.
Cool. That's all plenty for one round. Adriel, you have sped ahead of Aygir and Corgain. You reach the secret lair before they do.
Wait, you skipped me. Like, I just wanted to say I'm climbing back up the cliff.
You're climbing back up the cliff?
Yeah, because I'm going to go to the warehouse. and
Okay.
come in
I think
that.
most of that round you were talking with Vapor, but we'll say you like go to get to
I
the
just
base
wanted
of
to
the
declare
cliff.
my intent. Yeah.
Adriel, you have sped through this tunnel, which is sort of a downward sloping tunnel, and so you really go fast. And you leave Aygir and Corgain, a decent ways behind you. You see, kind of by the end of your turn, let's say, you've reached the end of the tunnel, and you see the secret lair. To your left-hand side, there are these two entryways into these smaller bed chambers that you all had looked through before. And then beyond that, you see this, we're going to call it a pool, a large pool, a really big pool. You see that submergible vessel is there, and it is just finishing changing its heading to like go back down, and you can even hear the like as it's working the gate, the magnetism of the gate to open it up to be able to go back out. So that's
Gotcha.
yeah, we'll say that's the end of that round. I assume Aygir and Corgain are like hustling to catch up with Adriel. In initiative terms, you're using the dash action.
Yeah, and Aygir has definitely signaled to Corgain to initiate the telepathy.
Yes, he has a 40-foot walking speed, so he's decently fast, but cunning action makes a big difference.
Right.
So, Aygir, you've got a little increase to your speed as well, is that right?
Yeah.
Like 35? Okay. So you're speaking telepathically and like hastening down this descending slope tunnel.
Right. And he says, I don't know what his move is, but he's making it now. As they speed through the... I guess they're...
Is
I
he
imagine
not
them
trying
being
to
like,
engage the enemy quickly before he escapes?
Aygir vaulting over a crate and sliding, maybe limbo style under a boom, holding a crane bag full of trade goods or illicit contraband, says, I don't know, but I don't trust it. He doesn't usually do this. There were 2 sets of footprints. And he doesn't elaborate, actually, when he says this, but Aygir does say there were 2 sets of footprints.
Okay, so we'll go to the next round. Vapor, you're holding the storm bolt, the calling down of lightning, so that you can blast something when you're ready. Walykos, you're climbing up the sea cliff and up the city wall to rejoin with your allies. That's the ultimate plan there.
Is the plan, but I mean, if I get part of the way and I see or I hear the tunnel being hit by a thing, I'd probably go back down into the water to help Vapor.
Yep, it would probably be quite noticeable if Vapor called down a stroke of lightning.
Exactly. So it's going to take me a bit, but in transit.
Adriel, what do you do?
Oh goodness, I wasn't expecting him to already be back in his submarine. I will get to his submarine if possible. Is that possible? I'm assuming it hasn't submerged yet, right? It's still kind of out a bit.
There's a little bit of it above the surface of the water, just an edge of it, and the gate is opening so that he could take it back out.
Gotcha. I will get up closer and I'll look behind quickly just to check if Aygir and Corgan are not behind and can't hear me. I don't know if I see them or anything, so
they are going to catch up with you if you don't keep moving.
Yep.
They're not, not immediately behind you.
Okay. I'll quickly go up as close as I can, get to the submarine with Jib, and I will sort of call out and be like, Jib, there's 5 others out there. One is under the water waiting for you with most likely some kind of spellcraft, and 2 more coming from behind me. If you stand with me and fight, we may be able to get out from the without the water. You might have to give up your submarine though. Otherwise, you can try and get out, but it's already collapsed multiple times. It's going to be difficult. I'm kind of raising my voice to try and get him to hear that.
You run, part way through the chamber. You get kind of close to the pool, and you're shouting this tactical information that would help him and also let him know I'm your ally.
Yeah, and basically say if you come out, I will fight with you.
Just give me 1 second. Okay. So we'll get back to you. We'll just you've shouted that out. The gate has finished opening, and we need to cut somebody else. Aygir and Corgain. You are in the tunnel. Continuing to dash?
Yeah, and
the end of the tunnel's probably in sight, but it's not. You're not getting there just this round.
I assume it's a case where Adriel got here running through the tunnel ahead of the train as the light's coming around the corner, or the light coming around the corner. So before we get to that last corner, Aygir will say, I don't know. I want to trust Adriel, but be prepared for anything.
Make a perception check.
Ooh. Time for me to roll my first die of the session. Alrighty.
I'm rolling for Corgain as well.
Did I need to make any kind...
Oh. Anyway, what?
I was going to ask if I need to make any kind of persuasion check or anything, by the way, for mine, but yeah.
I will let you know, maybe. So, okay. Corgain telepathically says, wait, Adriel's yelling something. What did you get?
Interesting. It's a pretty good roll. I got a not natural 20.
You made out major chunks of what Adriel said. Seems like Corgain didn't make it out, though.
Okay. So, all right. I know he got there. I know he talked to Jib. Corgain and I are right there. I assume I can also tell that Vapor and Walykos have not come in through the water yet.
You don't know.
Okay. I say to Corgain... Wait, stop. This is telepathically, of course. You heard that too, right?
Adriel was shouting something, but I couldn't make it out.
He said the name Jib. Out of character, I don't know that Aygir knows that name.
Your whole party
knows
knows those
Jib.
Names of
we know that
allies
Jib,
of Belvander and Barnacle.
We know that Jib is This is Jib, the half-dragon son of Zelex, right?
Yeah, you guys have deduced that
Oh, okay,
already.
okay, never
Yeah.
mind.
And you,
Okay,
you
major-
maybe
major
more than
chunk.
anybody
So
has deduced it.
Right, I'd say to Corgain telepathically, I heard him say, Jib, stand and fight with me. I don't know what to believe. I hope that we are not being deceived right now, but we should approach at the ready
shit.
You're a dragon, right? You can breathe, can't you?
I mean, he's in his draconic form right now. He's fastest in this form. And
I will do what
he
I
hasn't
can
stopped to like take the time to shapeshift. So.
Right. I will do what I can to immobilize the bigger threat of the two. And you use that. But we must be careful. If the other two come in, we don't want to hit them literally.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's plenty of time for
the
one
whole,
round.
Yeah, that's it.
So
that's it, yeah.
you make it known that Adriel is turncoat, and
I don't know that
to-
Aygir necessarily knows that. I just think he's getting the idea because of what he heard that if it's not some illusion, that's what it is. So he's probably wrestling with it a little bit.
So, but there's this other part of you that's like trying to rationalize it. Like, no, it can't be. It can't be. Surely it was an illusion. Surely he's being mind controlled. Surely it's not. Okay. Just a little wet. It's still good. It's still good. All right. So, you and Corgain will reach the end of the tunnel by the end of the following round, and then you'll have full visual of what's going on down there. Walykos, give me an athletics check. This is going to see how quickly you are.
I climb at 35. I have a climb speed.
Do you want to just rely on that, or do you want to try to push yourself?
How high? How far is it? If you could give me that might help my decision.
Well, the cliffs are pretty high. Maybe 80 feet of cliffs, and then another, say, 40 feet of wall.
So
like 2 dashes.
120.
I would say at the moment, you are like pretty far up the cliffs. Yeah, you're probably almost to where you'd be clutching onto the stones of the wall.
So
if you'd like to make an athletics check, this would represent you, like, in a narrative sense, pushing yourself to try to go faster and vault over and get past obstacles quickly.
No, I'm not gonna risk that. I'd rather just stay steady.
So you play things on the safer side, we could say. You don't take any big risks, and you're like, last thing I need right now is messing up my climb or like tripping while trying to jump over obstacles.
I trust my allies enough that I will be the cavalry. I'll get there when I get there, and I will, hit hard when I get. Yeah.
You climb up the final stretch of the sea cliff, up the outer stone wall, this, thick, large, giant constructed stone wall. Haul yourself over the top, climb back down the other side. You've got Shackledowns district with lots of houses and buildings, thick, dense right by you, and it's just,
warehouse.
You just kind of have to run across the street to get to the warehouse.
Yeah. Which I do.
Vapor, let me know if you have any change. We're just going to keep assuming every round that you're holding the lightning blast.
Holding and ready as soon as he sees anything that's not an ally come out of that tunnel. He's smiting it with a bolt of lightning being called down.
Okay.
It's good ready.
Adriel?
Real quickly, out of curiosity, where's Arachnid? Arachnos. I thought
Arachno is making his way.
Trailing behind. Yeah, he's
those that rode on the dragon got there faster because the dragon
gotcha.
has an 80-foot flying speed.
Gotcha. I completely forgot about
Arachno's
that.
pretty quick. He's very mobile, and he has his different contraptions, but he's not 80-foot flying speed fast. Okay.
I just couldn't remember.
Oh, good.
Adriel, you see a top hatch on the submergible open, and standing up out of it is a figure in like full armored, some kind of suit, some kind of artificer suit. It looks like it's probably airtight, or you don't see like any skin or scale or anything. You just see suit, like it's just a man made of metal. And it's got like this super stylized, almost draconic-like full mask helm. And it has some various contraptions built into it. His voice comes emanating out of it, a loud voice, and you imagine this is some kind of magical augmentation because you're not looking at a person's mouth talking. He's got this full mask helm thing on, literally full mask helm, not even like air holes or anything. So this voice just like emanates out of it. Who are you truly working for?
Oh, just that? Okay, I say, I stand with Belvandor, Jib. I'm here
Get
to
in.
warn you. I look back to see if I see Aygir them.
He grabs the hatch and he's just like,
I will start running. Yeah,
his
I'll go
head
down.
like
I'll say,
flicks that way to like look at the tunnel, flicks back to you.
Can you break through it as I'm getting in? Like as I'm.
He's not being conversational. He's just like, get in. And it's like it looks like you got to act now or never.
I get in. All right.
You wade into the pool and then like jump over and like go down. There's like a ladder and he slams it shut and like pulls the lock. And that's the end of your rounds. What you see inside is a fairly cramped interior chamber. You've got about, where's my, sorry, I've got notes here. Okay, yeah, you've got, maybe a diameter of inside, maybe 13, 14 feet, something like that. You can notice there are two separate chambers. This is a long vessel. There's this helm chamber, which is essentially where you're arriving now, coming down this metal ladder. And there's like controls and like some viewing panels or windows, we could just say. And then to the back, there's this other interior chamber that looks like an alchemical station. You even see one barrel there that looks very much like the barrels of crackle powder. It's like it's back there. So he's got some kind of, we'll say like at a quick glance, you just call it like a workshop or an alchemical station. And, it looks like the helm has some different controls. It's really a dazzling work of artifice. And we're going to get back to this because a lot just happened there in one round.
Yeah.
Aygir and Corgain, you both spend your turn moving again. You get to
I thought we were like one movement away.
You get to by the end of your turn, you're getting to the end of the tunnel. And you, essentially what you see is like the lid, like the hatch or whatever, like shutting and locking. And you don't see Adriel anywhere.
Okay, well, so then as we round that last corner... As we round that last corner,
very upset.
Like before they would have any chance to potentially see us, Aygir does mutter an incantation under his breath, and to anybody who is looking at the tunnel, what they see coming around the corner... Arachno has not caught up to us yet. So what they would see is apparently 3 people and a dragon, because 4 Aygirs and a dragon emerge from the tunnel, apparently, because Aygir has cast mirror image on himself. And as they see that, telepathically, and this is one turn, so obviously I won't be able to do all of this all at once, but he's going to say to Corgain, use your breath, stop that thing. And he's going to be, meanwhile, looking for any sort of propulsion device that it might have so that he can cast a spell once he can. Alright, he's going to cast Shatter on that as soon as he can.
Yeah. I'm headed straight down. I'm on the trail on 35-foot move speed. I'm just trusting my allies to hold until I can get there. I'm dashing as fast as I can. I realize that I'm going to be getting there late. I get it. Esper, the audience said that you muted the stream.
Oh, sorry about that.
Might be in OBS, I'm guessing.
Oh my gosh. Sorry there.
Esper.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just my own. I just forgot to unmute. Okay. So, Walykos, you rush across the street, throw open the door of the warehouse and start to go inside. Adriel, you are in the interior of the submergible. The person that you're in here with is very large, like 7 feet tall, has this full body armor suit on, so a very imposing figure. He jumps back into the control seat, grabs onto the helm controls, checks a couple of gauges.
As he's doing that, I will speak and say, there's going to be rubble out there and a spellcaster. Be aware. I don't know what he's planning, but they're planning something out there. Probably for you.
He seems very, very focused, and you feel the thing move forward. So you kind of get jostled back, and you grab onto the ladder.
Yeah, grab onto something. Yeah.
And and the thing surges forward, and you're sure the guy heard you. He had to have heard you, but he's laser focused on what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's it. This turn is moving through the underwater tunnel. The thing goes just looking out the window. It's quite dark. Let's see. You don't have a dark vision, do you?
Dark vision, no.
No, you don't. Okay. So it's pretty dark. Yeah, you're not sure how he's going to be operating this thing underwater in the dark, but he's doing it.
Is there light coming from Vapor's thundercloud thing?
There, at the moment, it's just kind of dark. There's some illumination inside, so that you can see well inside. He's got, what looks to be like I'm going to call it an ever-burning torch, but it's going to look a little bit more Artificer as opposed to organic torch. So he's got a light panel, an arcane light panel, so you can see what's going on inside, but out the window you just see darkness is all. He's pretty close to this front viewing panel, and he's laser focused, and you feel that you're going pretty quickly through the water.
I feel like Adriel's not used to being in this vessel, so he's kind of a little bit wobbly and trying to steady himself. He's pretty good at that, but this is a brand new environment, this is brand new, so he's kind of stabilizing himself, holding on, making sure he doesn't fall over and knock any of these alchemical substances out. That would not be good.
Would Vapor see the glowing light from the inside casting onto the walls of the tunnel as it comes out?
Say that again. You were breaking up there.
So the light from the inside of the submarine should be casting out through the window.
A little bit.
Would Vapor see any hint of that coming down the tunnel?
You're starting to. Yeah. It's
okay,
not immediately close to you.
As soon as he sees that, he's calling down a bolt. He's going to expend that ready action.
Okay.
And he's going to aim for the cliff, trying to bring down more rubble.
There's Oh, wait. Are you striking at the vessel or are you striking at the rock?
Can he hit the vessel?
You want to hit the vessel? Okay. So there is this kind of not a rumbling inside the vessel, Adriel, but there's a noticeable little vibration, and this ripple of lightning goes across it. Roll your lightning damage.
Don't hurt me too much, Vapor. Okay.
I don't know you're on there, so I'm.
I know.
Do what you must.
16 points of thunder damage.
16. Okay.
Such a good spell.
It is. Yeah. It was a very good idea to ready it and stuff too. Yeah, that was very smart.
Well, the fact that it's a 10-minute timer that he has. If it was
All right.
like 1 minute,
That worked.
Yeah.
Strong magic. Comments the
Yes.
armored fellow.
Yeah, when he says that, I'll kind of like call out louder. I say, like, yes, I warned you of him. He's powerful.
you're like the villain that's just like, I'm telling you, like these things. Why aren't you doing what I'm telling you to do?
Yeah, it's like, I know these people. I've worked with them.
Well, you're the villain that's like, you are all incompetent. You can't follow my directions. Fix the problem. They're like, sir, we're trying.
But he's an NPC with limited dialogue options, and you don't have the button for the one you want, so you just keep saying, strong magic.
Exactly.
Come on. He's got.
I'm sorry.
He's got at least 3 lines. He says.
Let's keep going. Who's are we?
Corgain and Aygir, you have entered
Okay.
into the secret layer. The submergible is gone. It took off. The
We
gate.
can't see it at all.
The gate was left open. Yeah.
We cannot
He
all
didn't take
see
the
it,
time. He didn't take the time to shut it.
Well, so wait, we can't see it at all, though?
Nope.
How
gone.
far is it gone? Okay.
You don't know. It's gone though.
All right. I ask Corgain.
Adriel left with him.
Oh,
Sorry,
yes,
that's
he did.
wrong character. Adriel left with him.
Can you swim as well as you can fly?
No. That's not in my purview.
Can you swim half as well as you can fly? We need to go after them somehow.
No, I cannot swim half as good as I can fly. I can
you
swim.
swim?
But I'm not an aquatic dragon.
Neither am I. We have to go after them.
You want to swim after that?
If I could cast a spell, I could knock out whatever's moving it.
If you're going in, I'm going in too. The two of you jump into the water.
Yeah,
The shock
I'm
of
looking
cold
through my
rushes
stuff
over your
again,
body.
Because I
And
thought
you're in a
we
dark
might have-
tunnel, though luckily you do have dark vision.
Yep. I thought we might have realized we might have gotten there a little earlier, might have been able to do something before they both jumped in and took off, but yeah. So
You and Corgain are in the water tunnel. You're starting to swim. Walykos, you run across the empty warehouse.
Sprinting full out. Oh, I was already in the warehouse. I'm going through the tunnel at this point.
Last turn you were like getting across the street, entering into the warehouse. This turn you're running across the like storeroom, getting into the tunnel.
Yep.
Probably hear Vapor like calls some lightning. It's underwater, so it's a strange sound.
Let me ask you this, Esper. I know how long this tunnel is.
Mm-hmm.
How many turns is it going to take me to run at full speed down the tunnel? Is this
3.
going to be like 3 turns?
3, yep.
Then it would be quicker for me to turn around, run back to the cliff, and just jump off the cliff to get there. Because that's 2 rounds.
Okay, you halt yourself.
Yeah.
Things have changed. You about face and run back out into the street.
Yeah, no, I'm just booking it because I'm like, shit, he wouldn't be firing off the lightning if he wasn't getting him back into the water.
You run back into the street. You see Arachno like land like. Which way?
The lightning.
Okay,
Lightning.
Go. And he just like you start like running across the street with Arachno by you.
I'm running full out. I know that we have to like pause round to round, but imagine that I'm not stopping when I hit the edge of the cliff because I'm just going to dive off it.
Okay.
I have a plan.
Vapor.
Swan dive.
What do you do?
I still technically have a couple mana magic points left. So
Yeah,
I am
you
going
have
to quicken a spell.
3 left.
Yeah.
And this is where it's going to get fun. He is going to cast Shatter, level 3, on the glass.
On the viewport.
On the viewport.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to suck for one of you who isn't in a suit that's completely sealed and breathable underwater.
I can hold my breath for a while. It's okay.
Yeah. Totally.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
So that's your
Swear to
bonus
God,
action.
Vapor, I need you to roll a 1 again. You're rolling real bad here.
Don't forget to roll your wild magic and check on that too.
I'm going to do that right now.
Cool.
10, so no wild magic surge.
No wild magic surge.
Oh, and I need to roll one more d8 because I'm upcasting it.
Yeah, should be 4.
Or I only rolled
The
3.
third level, I think, is what you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's not the d8. Whoops, wrong dice. I wish that was, because that was a.
He rolls a d12. It's like, guys, I got really high.
I accidentally rolled a d10. Okay, that is 24 points of magic.
That's very good,
damage.
24 on d8s. Oh, but on 4 d8s. Okay.
On 4. It would have been 20
that's still
without
pretty
the extra one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
24. All right. I'm going to roll the con save with disadvantage.
And I help the ship. I'll
You
bolster.
plaster yourself onto the
Hold your
window.
hands up against the glass to brace it and just shatter around.
Yes, you have disadvantage because it's a
Yep.
no, not for
Indeed.
Come on, Esper.
Oh. A 13 is probably not going to save.
No, it does not.
Cracks spiderweb along the window. That was a quicken spell. What else you got?
It's a quicken spell.
Lightning. Call down the
I'm
lightning.
thinking casting another,
Well, you can only
can't
do it. You
cast-
can only do a cantrip. You can only do a
Yeah.
cantrip after that. Yeah.
but I do have the call lightning.
Or call
I
lightning.
was gonna say call
Yeah.
lightning.
Is call
Oh.
lightning a bonus action?
Yes,
No,
I
it
can.
is
The
an
bonus action
action.
was the shatter.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can use an action to send another lightning call, or you could cast a cantrip, or you could
I'm sending
shoot
another
a crossbow.
calling down lightning once more.
Lightning is pretty good.
Yeah, roll that damage again.
I'm pretty sure that it's not got a great dex save throw on a giant.
No, no.
And I have a good
bad.
dex, Esper. Me being on it just improves its dex, right? Like
Adriel dives
Adriel's
in
like
front of the lightning.
jumping on the thing to try to get it to jostle to the side away
conform
from the
it to my body, like this way.
Adriel dives in front of the lightning and then uses evasion to dodge the lightning.
Exactly.
Real quick.
Sorry, continue.
Vapor's aiming, if he can, this lightning bolt that he's calling down towards the viewport.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
And it's 20 points of damage.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh.
You know what's
gosh.
interesting is call lightning is an area effect, Esper. It's every creature within 5 feet of the plane. Just so you know. Just in case.
The one at the helm does a sort of maneuver. The thing rolls to the side. It glances off and it's reduced to half. And the ship takes it pretty well, actually. You didn't seem to really damage it.
Esper, I'm totally fine with this if this is.
I rolled a nat 20, by the way, on that.
Yeah. Well, Esper, wouldn't he have disadvantage for being in a tight tunnel? There's not a lot of place to really roll and dodge to.
No.
I just wanted to throw out.
No. Stop that.
Very good.
If you are squeezing, you do have disadvantage on dex saves, though. But I wouldn't
enough.
consider this squeezing. Okay.
Not until he gets to the rubble. That's what
So,
it's
well, that's we're gonna get to that right
I did
now,
warn him of it,
actually.
though. To be fair, I did warn him, so
you
he
did,
knows.
yeah, you did warn him. But
If that helps him at all, I don't know.
He seems to not. Well, anyways, you'll see what you see. So, Vapor, you send the lightning stroke through. He does a kind of evasive maneuver, and it's like halved damage, but the 10 damage doesn't seem to affect the ship. You don't think you really you didn't like punch through the threshold you need to meet to damage this thing. So from the interior view, there's this nasty like spiderwebbed crack on the main front viewing port, and you're just like hoping that that's not gonna break and water come gushing through.
Oh, I should clarify. Adriel is quite concerned right now. Like he is very concerned about what's happening because he's like, is this going to hold? Right? Like because he doesn't have a suit, right? Like he can hold his breath, but it's still gonna be rough if it breaks, you know.
Yeah, that'll be bad.
Understatement of the year.
Yeah, I'm looking quickly to see if he would do anything else.
I have some thoughts, but
No. Nope. He just uses controls and he just full steams ahead. And he's gonna try to just ram through the blockade.
I brace
Damage
for
the ship.
impact.
Break
I
the
brace
ship.
for
Yeah, well, he's already rammed once today, so let's see what he can do here. All right.
Come on, Jib! Come on, Jib!
All right. Okay, here we go.
break the ship.
Okay, that was awesome.
Damn it.
That was so good. He just bashes right through the stone. It slows him down, so he does. I'll put it this way: at the moment, he is squeezing the ship. The ship is squeezing. It's kind of.
The front has punched.
It's
through
not
and
jammed,
still-
but the ram just like bashed right through the like most ideal spot to get him through. It like jostles that big chunk to the side, and so he's like, it's like the walls of the tunnel are scraping against the one side of the thing, and so he's got like he's gonna be kind of squeezing at half speed. So from now until like the end of, he has to like move again to get out of the squeezing. So he'll still be moving through the jammed up spot on the next round. Does that make sense?
Which brings us to Aygir and
Corgain,
Yes,
you're in
who
the
have
water.
Presumably now just
You're
enough of a chance
swimming.
to catch up to
So
where they can see it anyway.
If I may quickly, I just have a quick question. Is there like, since I did probably technically have a turn in that situation, like maybe getting my
actually
bearings-
Adriel should have a turn.
Yeah.
sure.
Just getting my bearings a little bit more. Do I notice anything that could potentially help? Because I know that he had like some kind of weaponry and stuff last time. Like, do I notice anything in here that I could potentially use to help him get through the rocks or anything of that nature? Like, obviously it's very new
the controls
here,
here
but
are quite esoteric, but it seems like all the controls are right there with him. It's all kind of part in the same. There's not like a separate gunner port or anything.
Is there another suit? Is there anything that could?
That is one of a kind, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. But so
It's
like
only size for
nothing.
dwarves.
So nothing of relevance that I could use to like help at all, basically.
You look around and gosh, there's got to be some kind of helpful supplies in here, but where to look and which of these compartments?
I guess I would
It's
just.
such a
ask them-
foreign environment for you. It's a weird spot for you to be in.
I guess like
You're
while
probably
I'm
just
doing
bracing
that,
up because you just did a ram and you don't know if you're going to be ramming some more. At the moment, what you feel is this. As you hear like the one side of the thing scraping against the wall of the tunnel.
I guess I would call off then. I know this will probably be the end of my turn, but just to call it out, I'll say like, tell me what I can do to help, right? Like if there's anything at all.
How many of them are out this way?
There should just be one, maybe two.
All right. So Corgain and
I'm assuming
Aygir.
he's talking about the way we're going, right?
Yep.
Okay, yep.
Corgain and Aygir, you're in the water tunnel. You're swimming ahead. It's pretty dark. You know, it's obviously longer than just your 60 feet of dark vision.
Right.
And then this blast of lightning comes from like the far end of the tunnel and like ripples around, and you see the shape of the thing there. And the lightning doesn't go quite so far to where it's like blasting into your face, but it does get fairly concerningly close to where you and Corgain are.
I mean, I'm guessing we can. Probably
You
get
see
to
the
about-
thing, you know, ramming through some of the rubble. The ram maneuver seemed to work pretty well. It's having to squeeze though for a time.
So we can probably get to within about 60 feet of it then.
If you have a long range spell, like a 120 foot plus spell, you could probably like swim ahead and then cast that on it.
Okay, so not.
But it would need to be a
Shatter.
long range.
Man. It's definitely gonna go for Shatter, but let's see. There nothing else. He does have. Oh wait, so the dragon seriously is not faster than him down here?
Not enough to where it would count, to where it would even matter.
Uh,
He's at, just like anyone, half a walking speed, so be 20.
All right.
He's also not particularly eager to rush ahead. I imagine he says something like, "The blast of lightning. If he is able to reverse that thing, he could crush us. I don't know if it is wise for us to go through this tunnel. Maybe we should wait and see. If he clears the rubble, then maybe we should proceed ahead."
I will respond that if we can get into the sky, yes. The spell in Esper's Emporium, it's called damping, not damping haze, right?
Damping. The like beta version of it was called damping haze.
That's right.
Just keep in mind, you guys don't have an actual swim speed, so you're moving slow in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then all right. Knowing that he can't necessarily cast the best of stuff, Aygir hauls out, pops open, and lets fall away the two halves of a scroll case, and quickly unfurling the thing before it gets waterlogged, is going to read, and with a boom, will cast damping from a scroll of damping that he had. We found those with the Night Stalker's stuff.
All right.
If I may, because it might matter, would him doing a verbal spell decrease his oxygen, like his levels of breathing?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably not a. He probably doesn't have to say a lot. It's probably just a couple syllables, but still, some.
Sure.
There go some bubbles of air out of your mouth.
All right.
We're not quite at a point where I think that's going to come up, because you're still to where you could just spend one turn swimming and come up to the surface for breath.
That is.
But if you start trying to get through that whole tunnel, then that tunnel's pretty long. I don't think typically you guys could swim through it with your breath.
Really?
You're muted.
Yeah, I might have.
I said Walykos could have because I had a swim speed.
Walykos is able to with the swim speed.
I might be able to.
Even then, my breath was almost done.
I might be able to with cunning action, but it would be pretty close.
All right. Well, then in that case, this might be where we have to turn around and come back out the other way. But yeah, I was thinking we could make it through and then rocket up to the surface, but we might have to turn around now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we might want to actually hold off on the damping, because you can't see any creatures. They've got full cover inside the vessel.
I see.
You really want to be able to have targets that are, available for you to hit. It doesn't affect objects.
That makes sense. All right. Well, we turn around and are going to come out through the warehouse as quickly as possible. Telepathically, Aygir will say to Corgain, if you can speak to the others, warn them, let them know we need to stop this guy now.
I cannot. My telepathy is a limited range.
You're a dragon. What can you do?
I can do a great many things, but not everything.
Breathe on them or something. You're a dragon.
He's got 120 feet of telepathy, man.
Come on, you're a dragon. You have to do something. You've got powers. I believe in your powers. I super believe in your powers.
So Aygir and Corgain, as much as Aygir is very enthusiastic, probably need to back up, because you're not going to be able to swim through this tunnel on a lung full of breath. Looks like he's going to be ramming through and clearing the way out. And even if he does somehow have a way to reverse it, if you're stuck in the tunnel while he's reversing onto you, I don't know, it might just crush you to death. So it's not an ideal location to be in.
All right. Well, then they're going out through the warehouse then.
You come back up to the surface and drag yourself out of the pool.
If it has a skylight, we can
Walykos and
fly out.
Arachno run across the street, climb up the wall, and are diving off the top of it.
I would also like to bonus action Zephyr Strike on myself. Start that going.
Zephyr Strike, okay.
So, I've got these winds whipping around me. Like a sort of an armor, surrounding me.
Vapor.
Well, don't I jump off the wall that turn, or?
That turn was getting through the rest of the neighborhood, climbing up the wall, and like jumping off. I imagine the end of the turn is like you and Arachno like diving
Okay,
down.
so you don't want us to fall this turn, is what you're saying?
I don't think there's enough time to accomplish all of that.
Falling's usually instant.
I was thinking more in like dramatic terms, like the end of your turn is like you're at the top of the wall, jumping off.
We'll save the jump for next turn.
Because imagine you're covering like 70 feet.
So long as I can do actions after I jump off the wall next turn, I'm okay with it.
Vapor. Looks like he's going to be ramming through. But he's going to be in a bit of a jam for a round here.
I'm at the point where I can't quicken another spell. So I'm debating if either trying another shatter on that glass at level 3 to break it. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because that would stop him.
I mean, you're also damaging the vehicle, not just the glass. It's an area effect.
Yeah, it's a 10 or 15 foot area effect. So I believe that is what I will be doing.
But flooding the vehicle probably is bad for the mechanical.
Yeah, and
it's bad for the human as well.
Yeah.
Well, luckily it's pretty close to
see
the exit of the tunnel, so
Can
it's not one of those situations where you're stuck
in
in this long tunnel that you can't swim through.
Here's a question: can the shatter, because it is an area effect, hit both the sub and the wall of the tunnel to try and collapse more of it on top of it? It is a 15.
I don't see why not. It's area effect.
Not to metagame,
Do two
but
things at once.
you were mentioning super chat, so I just glanced at the chat. Somebody in there said you could shatter the cave again, try and trap it.
That's literally what I just.
we're going to try to do.
Oh, okay.
That's what Vapor's going to do. He's going to.
Well, he's going to do both because he can hit both the sub and it because it's squeezing with the wall, so it's right up against the wall.
All right.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll the shatter damage.
Pin it. Get it.
That's not as good as last time. And that's only 17. It's 17 unfortunately.
Okay.
Maybe you'll fail.
And no surge.
17 and no surge. All right. So, the tunnel, I can tell you, 17 isn't enough to do any substantial collapse. You bring down some chunks of rock, but it's not going to do enough to substantially modify the blockade.
Now he is at disadvantage because he's squeezing for. Wait, no, that's Dex checks.
That'd be Dex, but it's disadvantage because it's a mineral-based object.
Yeah. So. Also, out of curiosity, can Vapor see who's all in the sub?
You see the driver. That's that much you can see. I don't think. Well, you are kind of looking at it sort of head on. I would imagine that if you like swim and are like specifically trying to get a good view in there, you probably would see Adriel like back a couple steps behind the pilot.
Well, let's see what the shatter does. Then we'll go.
Let's see what the shatter. Yeah, the shatter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll con save for the ship here.
Did you quicken that shatter?
No, I don't have
He's out
enough
of sorcery
magic
points.
I have 1 point left.
I thought the shatter went to the rocks, not the ship.
Both. It's an area effect.
It's an area. You're right.
And since the ship is literally like hugged up against the rock, it could hit. It could feasibly hit both.
And
I got 19.
I forgot.
Even with disadvantage.
What?
19.
Yeah, that's going to succeed.
Half damage.
Its con is much better than its dex, as you can imagine. So what's the damage amount?
You said
17. So that's
8. All right. 8. It doesn't damage the hull. I don't think it shatters through the window, but you probably worsen the situation. The window. All right.
To a degree where the water pressure would do the rest?
No, Aygir, no.
That is a good question, actually.
That's the thing.
I think I'm going to roll a secondary con save due to water pressure.
Maybe every single turn. See if it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Would it have advantage since it's water?
No.
No.
Advantage because of the pressure.
Okay, you got a 15. 15?
It's
Yeah, I can
probably
say that out loud. Okay, you got a 15. So I would say 15. It holds up for this round. So, but the window doesn't look like it's in good shape.
My heart has been
Not at all.
racing like every single round. It's like terrifying.
Yeah, I wish I had a way to stand up. I don't even want to be sitting down. It's like,
Nick,
ah!
chat just wants to wish you hopes that you're wearing your brown pants.
I'm wearing my black pants, so it's close.
Yeah,
close.
that's probably better actually. That'll cover any kind of fluid that comes out. All
Casting
right,
that,
so
he's going to Esper.
Yeah.
With Vapor casting that, he's going to kind of jump and kick back. So he is going to get himself up a bit because he's going to try to use his momentum to move himself further back.
okay.
Because he's got a feeling this
Yeah,
is
so
going
you
to
kind of
possibly break.
swim upwards and back a bit.
Yeah, so
Probably a
would that
good
give him
idea.
give him enough to look in.
Yep, that makes sense. So, Jib, or at least the one who you know as Jib, he's like, you've got the yoke in his hands, is using the thruster, is maneuvering it as he can, and spends this turn like scraping clear of the rubble. The tip of the submergible, this ram tip, and by the way, you can notice this now, Vapor, the ram is damaged. It's not fallen to pieces, but it is damaged. It needs some repair. And he, like the ram tip of the submergible comes out of the exit. So next round, this thing will be into open water.
With his movement jump, was he able to see into the sub at all anymore?
Yeah, you can still see through it. Yeah, Adriel's in there.
So when Vapor sees
Adriel,
Adriel,
you could probably see Vapor.
I feel like
there
we
in the
lock
water.
eyes.
yeah,
for a
I imagine
moment,
there's the
yeah.
eye lock, and Vapor does the one eye point straight at Adriel, and then gives him the finger, letting Adriel know he's fine.
You see Adriel like kind of just like glare at you, and this is like the first time you've probably just seen like all of his anger at you, because like you knew that he didn't like you, but he's kind of had to hold it back some with the party. But this is the first time like you see like full anger in his eyes. Like, you know that like if he wasn't in this submarine, if they were in he would just be fighting you right now, right? Like he is just
Vapor just smirks at that. It's like it goes trying to taunt Adriel out. It's like, come on.
Oh, I'm not gonna get out unless it breaks.
So does the submarine? What happens?
In the next round.
Yeah,
Vapor
the nose
has
of it is
one
clearing
more-
the exit.
Clearing the
Next
exit.
round,
Vapor
it'll be
has
able to
one more
move out
shot
into the
to
open
stop
water.
this thing.
Cool. So we got time.
Aygir and Corgain are moving back up through the secret tunnel. Walykos
Yes, and
and
we're-
Arachno. Walykos.
So can I ask a question really quick? I know Arachno has his grappling hook, and that's why he's going to leap off.
Yeah.
I know that his grappling hook's strong enough to hold two people.
Yep.
Could I save my action that I was going to do then by just holding him with my object interact, wrapping my arms around him, and having him jump us down?
Okay. So Walykos and Arachno
Also,
like
just-
repel
just,
down.
Yeah.
And
Just to make a note of this, so just to avoid the fact that Aygir and Corgain are basically going to spend the rest of the fight just moving, when we get to the warehouse, there has to be some sort of window or some way we can break
He
out.
can fly.
right?
Yeah, he's got to
Instead
fly.
of taking the door,
Yeah.
we want to
80 feet.
bust out the ceiling or a skylight or something into the air rather than run out the door. Because otherwise, it's like round up, like 5+ rounds of just dash.
Hey man, I wasted like 5 rounds of mine just running around because I was
Right.
winning the game.
I think we're on a good track. I think things are gonna probably play out in a pretty good way because we've got a semi initiative. It's fluid enough to where we could go to more abstracted time flow, or we could focus it into true
Just
initiative
as long
if
as it
needed.
doesn't abstract only for the parts where I'm running to try and catch up while somebody else has a
Adam,
whole
we're not gonna-
conversation and
We're
then
not
gets
going to
into
get
a thing,
screwed.
and then-
Trust Esper. Trust him. The narrative will win.
Oh
out.
yeah, Says the guy who floated me into a cave so a Merilith could hit me with every attack, and also a swarm of ghouls and 4 specters.
And specters. Yo, don't forget this. That was really the icing on the cake.
I don't know why you went in there.
Wait. But
Okay.
Aygir, think of it this way: you saved the necromancer.
All right, stop. No, stop. We can't go
Cut
down
it
that
out.
rabbit hole right now.
move it along.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Walykos, you and Arachno have rappelled down
I let
the
go.
exterior wall, down the sea cliff, and you're just like, all I have to do is just hop down and you'll land on one of the rocks there at the...
Oh, I dive into the water, straight into the water.
Okay, you push off of
Yeah.
the cliffs with your foot,
Yeah.
dive into the water, Arachno follows behind you. He's dashed. You still have an action.
Okay, cool. Do I see what's going on? That's what I need to know.
Yes,
kind of
you
doing the
see
finger
you see
taunts.
vapor, like you're looking down through the water, right? You see
Oh,
vapor
like
there,
down.
and then below vapor you see the like ram nose of the thing exiting, and like it's starting to clear the rubble.
I take out the staff of the White Raven, and can I see the driver? Can I see the? Can I attack? I can just attack just the sub, or can I attack the driver? The window.
He has
Like,
full
what's-
cover. You can see him though. It's probably not a great, like you can see just like part of him at a bad angle, but you've got to be able to see at least like the
Is
snout of
the
his
window
helmet or
really
something.
damaged? Like it looks like the window's damaged.
You note that the window's quite damaged. You note that the
And-
ram is somewhat damaged. The window is badly damaged.
Just
and
curious.
the hull also has some light. It's a very strong vessel, but the hull has some light damage on it.
And I know what your question is. Do I see Adriel?
Yeah, can he see Adriel?
Not from
He's
where
not
you are.
made.
No,
Okay, I was about to
you
say,
need to
that-
be like we're literally looking
Which is
in.
makes sense. I will then expend Zephyr Strike to attack with the blast with advantage.
Okay.
Basically, this is the spell attack, because unless I can get right up on it and hit it with the thing, my staff.
I mean, it's a ways down underwater.
120 feet spell attack. We're doing it.
Yeah, range 120 feet. You could definitely do it.
So blasting that. This is a spell attack with advantage. I get 3 d20s because of.
The thing is, the pilot has full cover. I know it's transparent.
I'm attacking the windshield. The sun. Yeah.
With the staff, I think you just attack creatures with that.
I have it as an action while holding the staff. You can make a staff. Okay, 1 creature.
Yeah, usually Radiant doesn't attack objects. It's usually like
Sometimes.
fire and thunder and acid.
Okay, so you're saying is that I need to target a creature with that. I guess he's going to have full cover then, because that's the best I can do.
Well, full cover is just it's completely blocked off.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you have
Well-
just a physical attack to
I do have a physical attack.
try to attack
how
at the window or
Yeah.
something else?
Yeah, I'll smash it with the staff if that's okay.
I'm.
So melee is
You
not
dove
an
into the
option?
water. It's 60 feet away from you. You've used your speed, but not your action.
Well, technically, I just dropped into the water. Don't I have a little bit of speed left?
Okay, say you have half your speed left.
Half my speed, let's say 15 feet. Get over to 45 feet from it. I have a 30-foot range on Thorn Wit. That's against a creature as well. When I activate Zephyr Spike, my speed becomes 30 feet faster for that round.
Ooh. So you swim right up, if you want to, swim
I
right
do
up to
want
the front of the submergible. Like right
I
up to the
will
glass?
Yeah,
Oh
and-
wait, he would see me now, right?
Yes.
Well, let's see, Walykos.
Let's. Yeah, I basically my intent is to go up to the glass, bring the staff down, and a strike with the butt of it right against the glass. You know.
The background music here is very nice, but where's a nice soap opera keyboard sting when you need it?
All right,
Yeah,
so Walykos,
maybe
you
I
swim
screwed
right
you.
up to the front of the thing that's about ready to clear the tunnel and go thrusting ahead.
And Adriel sees me. Just
You
appear
attack
in
with
front
the
of it.
staff. You attack with the staff. Make your attack roll with disadvantage.
Well, I have advantage though because of
Because Zephyr Strike?
Zephyr Strike.
Yeah, okay, so-
it cancels out.
Canceled out to a straight roll.
Fair enough. That is 16, I think. Let me just double check. No, sorry, plus one more, 17.
17's a hit.
Okay.
Roll that bludgeoning damage.
And Zephyr Strike adds damage, I believe.
I think it puts a D6
Extra
of
force damage.
Yeah.
1d8 force damage, actually. Separated out 4 force damage if it matters separate, and then the bludgeoning damage is 9 from the actual. No, I'm sorry, 10 because it's a +1 weapon.
14 total.
Yes, 14 total, 4 of its. force
Walykos,
damage.
you swim down like a fish, swiftly prop yourself right against the front of the vessel, and you're just looking right through the glass at this mass-helmed figure, and in the background, you see Adriel in there.
We lock eyes, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like the look
The
up
staff smashes, the butt smashes, breaks through like a chunk of the glass. Water starts spilling in. I'm gonna force another con save on it since it's already been so badly cracked by Vapor's magic. Oh, it rolled a natural 2. And it just gives way. It's been damaged so bad, and Walykos
feel like this
busted out
sucks.
one sliver up, like one chunk of it, and just
Yeah, this sucks me through it actually because of the pressure pulls me in.
Yeah, I was going to say the pressure of the water coming in would harm.
Yeah, it
them
would pull. It
and-
would pull. It would
and
pull
pull
us
him
through.
in.
But I'm right there. It would make sense to me.
Okay, so here's the thing.
My turn.
You would think that.
Oh,
However, this is
Magic?
a random thing that I know. I once went to a writers' conference, and one of the authors was a guy from my state of Kansas who got trapped in a flood on a highway, and his whole car got submerged. He was stuck in there with his wife and his son, and he smashed the window to get out of the car, and it
Yep.
sucked him out. So I think
Yes,
it actually
because the
sucks
air-
people out because the air inside, right?
well, yes, I get what you're saying. Like if the pressure was pushing them forward, it would really depend on where they were in the compartment.
This is very confusing. This is the kind of there's no Dungeon Master's Guide physics section.
I would just say no change in movement if you want to keep things mechanically simple. I'm not sucked inside.
Well,
they're not sucked inside.
Yes, I think there needs to be some threat of suction happening because we've got this pocket of underwater air like a bubble that has just been popped, and there's water action and pressure and.
One person in the chat says the displacement of air would push him away and then out. You're right, Esper.
Yeah, I think it
Okay.
sucks people out.
Sure.
So,
But
I'm gonna
isn't,
give a strength saving throw to Adriel and Jib to grasp
dex
whatever you
or
can.
acrobatics,
Assuming
just
you
strength.
don't, assuming you don't want to get sucked out to try to stay in until the thing floods out. Then you'll just be in a underwater.
Can I use dex at all? Would that be okay?
This would very much be strength, as you have to hold on. It's a matter of force.
So, and I know I'm trying to make it easier for myself. I'm just say no if you need to. I was already bracing myself, like I was already holding on beforehand as well. So would that
you
give
are
me any
certainly
help,
close
or-
enough to where you could grasp onto like the ladder or something.
Okay. Would that give me help, like any pluses, or just still normal strength check?
You know what? Actually, I think if you got the ladder, that would give you advantage on a strength check. That's a pretty strong thing to secure yourself onto. He's at the helm, just has a yoke. I don't think that's enough to give him advantage,
Come
though.
on, Adriel. Oh, thank you for the advantage. I got that 20. I have no pluses on strength, so it's like, yeah, I rolled a 2 and a 20. So,
Woo! Yeah, that makes sense. The ladder's a really strong anchor point, so you grab on. Water starts
holding on for my
rushing
dear
in.
life
The air starts sucking out. Jib. Yeah, just the yoke. That's not going to be enough for advantage. So here we go. Nat 1. He probably just like slams right into Walykos, and the two of you like in the water, just like. It's probably a pretty violent effect, and you and him are tumbling through the water, just almost in a grapple, that close with each other. Adriel, awesome. The water's like rushing up to your legs, and but you're holding on. Like, it's your turn, Adriel.
Oh God! Okay.
You probably need to keep holding on unless you want to risk letting go.
No, I think I just.
There's a tremendous suction effect inside as the thing's filling up with water.
Yeah, I was thinking if there wasn't a suction effect anymore, I was going to go to the controls. But if there's still that suction effect, I'm just going to keep holding on and wait for everything to equalize, essentially. Mm-hmm. So I'll just keep holding on. If possible, I'll take this
like huge bubble that's like coming out of the broken window up to the surface of the water, or just a bunch of bubbles.
I doubt this is possible, but I would take the dodge action, but I doubt that's possible, so I'm probably just holding. So
I think you technically could. I mean, you're not restrained or paralyzed or anything, so you just kind of would be doing the best you can do.
You're not constantly moving, you're just ready to move.
As long as you still have your speed, you can dodge. And you still do have your speed. You just are holding on to something.
I will take the dodge action.
All right, so you continue to hold on. You've got dodge. The suction is tremendous. It's probably like hurting your head. But there you are. And core gain. No, wait, sorry. Hold on. We've skipped vapor. Sorry. No, we go to vapor. I've also skipped jib. Okay, let's do a vapor, then to jib.
I think that's the correct way.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead, Vapor.
So,
you're there, and there's like just this riot of bubbles coming up all over you from where this shattered viewing pane is now letting out all the air from inside.
So, Vapor saw Walykos shatter the windshield, pretty much. Bubbles have come up. He's lost sight.
Jib and Near outside the ship.
Yeah. You see Jib and Walykos just like tumbling together, disoriented in the water.
All right, seeing that, and pretty much all of the spells that he would want to use would hurt Walykos, he's going to focus back on the one person who isn't out tumbling. And unfortunately, I know we probably want to talk to him, but at this point, Vapor just sees him now as a traitor.
I get where you're coming from. Don't worry about...
do what Vapor would do. Whatever that is, just do what Vapor would do.
So... Adriel's going to see Vapor and just glowing with energy, and he brings his hand down like this and calls lightning down right onto him.
Well, you do have advantage on your dodging for the dex, but
that's true.
So is this
the water do anything?
I also had a few questions. Is this an area of effect attack?
It is.
Okay.
So your evasion probably is applicable.
And this is a dex check, right?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. And dodge does not give me advantage on that, so this is just normal. Right?
Dodge gives you advantage on dex saves. Yeah, it gives you advantage on dex saves and enemy attacks disadvantage.
Okay, so dex save advantage. All right, with the advantage, I got an unnatural 20.
That's enough to...
Plus evasion means you take nothing.
Yeah, I take no damage. Yeah. I'm very good at dex saves, so
yeah.
Well, it's because you dodged. Like honestly, if you hadn't, you wouldn't have had advantage.
If I hadn't have dodged, I would have got a 14, which I think would have failed. So
yeah. Breathe, Vapor. Yeah. Breathe. Well, actually, you're underwater. Don't breathe. But rage.
Seeing this, it's just like
I
your
almost
troll's
imagine,
blood
like,
is boiling.
Here's how I view it. Maybe for thematics, like narrative, like so as Vapor does that, maybe like in your anger, Vapor, like I notice it, and then I'm able to like move out, like slightly move out of the way because you're so angry that you're not aiming properly. You know.
Imagine what I imagined he did was jump is literally pushed off from the ladder, out of the blast radius.
That's true.
All right, so that would be Vapor's turn because I can't quicken the spell, but that's fine.
I imagine Adriel's probably feeling the buzz in the water. It's not painful buzz, but
I feel
like
static shocks and stuff.
the charge
Yeah,
in
it's like
the water. Yeah.
This is like the first experience I've had from Vapor's magic too, so I'm probably like realizing like I got away with it, but like the fact that I'm feeling static, I'm like pretty scared of that magic right now. So,
Well, let's see how this plays out. Now it is, I believe.
It's Jib now.
Yeah, I was going to say Jib and then Vapor.
Okay,
not Vapor,
so
Aygir. Or yeah, I guess.
Walykos, you are right up close and personal with him. You've both been a bit disoriented in the water. He's got this full body suit, like a full plate, we could consider it, but it's highly customized and has some different contraptions built into it. He has a heavy crossbow that as well is quite customized and has some contraptions built into it. He has a spear.
Sure. Yeah. Come at me with that crossbow. Take disadvantage on your attack.
You all are at... You're not technically grappled, but you're sort of like that. You're kind of pressed up against each other, and you could do melee strikes or grapples at this range.
Yeah.
He will... What is he going to do? Oh my goodness. Okay, he is going to... I think he's going to do a couple things. As a bonus action, he's activating something on his suit. It's going to propel him, essentially swimming, away from you.
I will take my attack of opportunity.
Yep. You have disadvantage for a staff underwater. It's just an awkward environment to swing a staff in.
Sure. Give me just a second. I have a plan here. All right, so with disadvantage, does a... No, that's going to fail. 10 is not going to do it.
All right, you swing, and it's not an ideal environment to swing in. It just comes off a bit awkwardly. He propels himself.
Oh, I should have... I had 2 attacks. I forgot that I have extra attacks at this level for next turn when I do my turn.
Yeah, that would be just when you take the attack action.
I know, but I attacked the windshield. I would have had one more attack after that.
Okay. It's
I
actually
missed it.
very fitting though because of that,
Yeah, because of the blowback. Yeah.
that force of everything underwater. It's kind of overwhelmed everyone.
No worries.
Okay, so
he propelled away.
yeah, it's technically it's a swimming speed, but
What's
narrative wise, it's like an artificer contraption that propels
How
him.
far is he swimming? Because this matters.
He goes back to the vessel.
He's
I don't
going
think
inside
I don't
the
think
vessel.
all of the air has completely cleared out yet. I don't think it's flooded out inside. It hasn't been enough time for that. So he probably just grasps somewhere near the broken view panel.
Yeah.
So we'll say that was his speed for an action. Probably dodge.
Tough call.
It doesn't. I don't think he'd be able to get inside. It just maybe you could make like a straight check to force yourself in there. But what I imagine is it's just this absolute riot of bubbles just coming out of the broken viewing port. So
Makes sense.
he'll go with dodge. That makes sense to me well enough. Aygir and Corgain are running up the tunnel.
And as soon as we get into the warehouse, we're going out a window or a skylight or even
Don't
just a
forget
weak
Adriel.
section of wall. He
All
is
right,
a dragon.
so Adriel dodged. I had skipped Vapor and Jib.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, Corgain says to you telepathically as you both are like hustling up the slope, which is not as easy as hustling down the slope. I have an idea. When we get up there, grab onto me and brace up.
You got it.
Okay, so who have I not done? I guess that's everybody. We go
think
back
we're
to
back to the
Walykos and
start.
Arachno.
Oh yeah, is it back to us?
Yeah, because I think it goes Walykos, Arachno, me.
Walykos, Arachno, Vapor,
yeah.
Jib,
If you
Adriel,
would like to do Arachno,
Corgain, Aygir.
yeah, do Arachno. I'll have Walykos ready to go.
Arachno, gosh. Okay. He jumps into the water and he begins swimming in the direction of the vessel. Oh, the vessel! So the vessel continues forward, but not at the full speed because there's no one controlling it. So it just like does like a half speed. It clears the tunnel. It's out into open water now, and it's like slowing down. He'd have to get in there and like start operating it again. So it like just the momentum of it carries it out into the water. So Arachno swims. I'm going to do an athletics check just to see how well he swims in the wavy water here.
Sure.
Waving water. Not bad. Okay, so he swims down a bit. He pulls out his like grapnel contraption and he's going to take a shot here.
We had a similar.
Such a
thought.
good hit. It latches on and just the reel takes him right in. And he just reels himself right up and he's like grasped onto the exterior of the submergible.
Nice.
Walykos?
Here's a question. Do you allow any casting with verbal components underwater? Like, I know...
Do I allow any casting with verbal components?
Yeah, like... but I would use up breath, obviously. I need to know... Is that okay?
Yeah, if you just cast a spell, I imagine it would take up some of your breath, but not all of it. It's
Okay.
just probably a few syllables that you say.
Zephyr Strike just has a verbal component, and it's a bonus action, so it's, like, super quick.
Cool. Yeah,
So,
2 little
I will-
bubbles come out, you cast it onto yourself.
So I cast Zephyr Strike, and then I will activate Zephyr Strike, getting the 30-foot move speed again, and I will go in and attack him.
Right into
from
melee?
behind. Yeah.
Okay.
The advantage
attack with-
cancels out the disadvantage.
Yes. Yes.
Here comes the attack. Does a 15 hit?
No.
Okay, that's the first attack. Now here comes the second
It
attack.
just kind of thuds off of his suit.
Yep. Oh, that's good. This is with the disadvantage though. Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
Okay. So, I am going to... This is not the Zephyr Strike attack, so I don't get that. But I do get my class feature, the Gathered Swarm. I want him to make a strength saving throw on this. And I'm doing 8 damage to him. Well, he needs to make a DC 16 strength saving throw or be moved 15 feet horizontally in a direction of my choice.
Oh.
Yeah. 12.
He failed. I am moving him away from the sub, like just pushing him out into empty water where a
Okay.
lightning bolt will just be nice and centered on him with nothing
Okay.
else around.
All right, so he jostles, blasted away from his vessel out
well,
into some
thematically-
open water.
When I hit him, feathers wrap around him and like yank him, and like feathers are pushing him like into the water. And there's like a bird, almost like a ghostly bird of a raven pushing him. Yeah.
The raven spirit, the feathers pull him away. He is now torn free from the vessel that he just got next to. And
And
that's that, right?
yeah, that's that. I
Arachno?
believe it's now
Walykos?
Vapor's turn.
Yes.
Vapor.
So Vapor's gonna try to move himself as much as he can to get a line at. Is there a way he can get a line at Jib and Adriel? In a straight
No,
line?
it's a 5-foot area around where you strike.
I have lightning. Another what spell is it?
Oh, a lightning bolt. You're going to
Yeah.
do a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
That's up to Esper. I don't know.
I don't think so, because we imagine the ship is like, it's like
Pretty hard to
here,
line
and then
that up.
Adriel's
Okay,
like inside
No
it,
worries.
and then he's like blasted off over here.
Okay, no worries. If
You
if
could
it was possible,
get
I was
him
gonna try.
and the ship together in a lightning bolt.
No, because I pushed him 15 feet away from the... Oh, well,
Yeah,
if you're saying with a lightning bolt, yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's fine. I'll just do call lightning.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Call lightning on Jib.
And he's in a metal suit.
And in water.
Almost feel like you should have disadvantage for being a metal suit in the
Yeah,
middle of the
I would think as well, but we'll see.
But yeah, I'm not.
Those actually salt water is not as big of a conductor as fresh water is.
There's salt water would be more because there's more salt. Salt generally makes it more conductive.
Yeah, it actually is reverse, surprisingly.
Wait, really? Are you?
Yeah.
I don't
because-
know who to believe here because I'm
Because
hearing
perfectly
conflicting
pure water is actually doesn't even conduct electricity at all.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
I'm wrong.
it's the minerals in the water that
Yeah,
make it
exactly, yeah.
conductive.
Okay, then maybe it is higher. Maybe it is superconductive. Okay. I always thought it was. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Well, he did
We'll see
dodge,
what-
so I'm just going to give him a flat roll.
All right, roll the damage, Vape.
Okay.
He's got an 18.
Yeah, that will succeed. So he will take 9 points. I've already have
Okay.
it.
Got it. All right, so those 2 hits were kind of lighter hits against him. He weathers them well enough, but he is just a person, so he's clearly getting hurt by them.
Yep.
All right, so let's go back to Jib's turn. And the ship. The ship is slowing down. Probably just the force of the water will keep it from really moving much at all now. And
Well, how full is it?
in terms of filling up, still not full yet. Still got a bunch of bubbles coming out. Oh my. My. Okay. Give me a sec. I'm looking at some options he has here.
Sure.
Nope. Not going to do that. He goes back to... He swims.
Never mind.
Swims, propels himself back to the ship.
Okay, I'm right there waiting for him.
He does not get within... He doesn't get within melee of you. He keeps some distance.
Fair enough.
We'll say there's 30 feet between you and him.
Yep.
Okay. I'm making some notes here to keep myself organized.
Take your time. You're good.
This time, he doesn't grab on. He just lingers there. He's got this heavy suit on, so he just kind of stands on the ship, essentially in the water. He draws that crossbow, that heavy crossbow with the contraptions built into it. He loads in some kind of ammunition. Takes aim at Walykos and fires.
Tell me what you got.
$18 to hit.
That hits.
15 piercing damage.
Got it.
And now the fun stuff. When it strikes, there is a concussive blast, a powerful explosion.
Yep. You need a saving throw.
I rolled really good.
No save.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Walykos.
Con save is +2, so that's 14.
14?
Yeah.
Not quite enough.
Okay.
You take 24 thunder damage. You're pushed back 10 feet. You're knocked
Push
prone.
me into the ship. And
What's that?
I don't know. That would push me into the ship.
He's wanting to blast you away from the ship.
Okay. So I'm 10 feet.
You're
away
knocked
from the-
prone, so you're kind of like disoriented in the water, and you would just spend half your swim speed to get yourself back to swimming again, oriented.
Sure.
I feel like when that happens, Adriel does have a moment of like concern for Walykos because he just saw him get shot extremely hard by something. So
You saw him shoot me, and I blasted me out of your range of vision.
exactly, yeah. So like Adriel's like pretty concerned because like I've mentioned multiple times in the past, like Adriel doesn't want to hurt Walykos. So
Oh.
he doesn't say anything though. He just, but
the
he is
internal
like
conflict.
Yeah.
It's a little heart wrenching for you. He'll fire a second shot.
Sure.
At Walykos again.
Yep.
Technically, Esper, I have to point out, I am prone, which means you fire with disadvantage because it's a ranged attack.
Good
and
call.
Prone condition.
Good call.
Yeah, that is a good call. Yeah.
I'm spinning around so much that
Sure.
it's hard for him to hit.
I actually rolled higher in my second d20 though. 20,
That's okay.
24.
That still hits. I just had to point it out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
rolled
good
much
point,
lower
though.
the damage though. You take 6 piercing.
I take 6 piercing, and did you want to? Does it explode?
There is not an explosion. There is some kind of tarry substance that's spattered all over you. Make
Do I
a
saving?
dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Let me check the prone condition to make sure that.
Nah, it doesn't.
I
It
think
doesn't
does.
affect dex.
You are correct. Just wanted to make sure. All right, here we go. Dex is my good save, though. Dirty 20.
Okay, it is a success. Let me see if there's a secondary effect or a
Sometimes
lesser
there is.
effect. On a failed save, blah, on a successful save. Your speed is currently reduced by half as you have a sticky tarry substance all over you.
On a successful save?
On a success, yep.
That's crazy. I wonder what would happen on a fail.
Restrain.
Oh, like full on. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a Tanglefoot bag or something.
Yep. You can, just to let you know, as an action, make a
Scrape it off.
dexterity check to try to get that removed from yourself, scraped off or wiped off or whatever.
Okay. That's his
Adriel.
action, though.
The water is like rising up. It's probably like up to your chest or to your neck now. It's about ready to get full, but it's not filled yet. So
It's not. Is it still sucking? There's no way of sucking though. I would assume, right?
There is. It's not as powerful now.
So like, would I be able to let go and like move around without it sucking me out?
You feel that there would be some risk, but it's not as a powerful of a suction. So like you could just quickly do a little test. You know, you kind of let go and it's kind of pulling you in that way, but you can actively like exert force against it and resist it. If you get right up close by the helm and the broken out window, then you might need to make a save. You might get stronger there.
Mm-hmm.
Taking your last deep breath. Fill up the lungs.
Oh man, let me think. Because I was thinking of potentially going to the controls, but if I'm gonna get sucked out, that'd be really bad.
No, it'd just be a strength saving throw.
Really bad at those. The only reason I passed the other one was because I had advantage.
Esper's just trying to bait you into like it's only a strength saving throw.
Yeah, I guess that in this situation, since in the back it seems like I don't need to do a strength saving throw, I will just stay where I'm at.
You know, risk/reward.
Am
You
I-
want to get to those controls and see if you
I
can
know.
pilot the thing right now? Or do you wanna wait?
Am I able to where's Arachno at? Can I see him?
You do not see him. You don't know where Arachno is.
I know I see Vapor though, right?
You probably see.
I guess
Va-
who
you
do
probably
I guess
see-
who
I
do
think
I
you
see?
see just
Okay, yeah.
Vapor.
Yeah.
Okay, I will in the back then. I'll pull out my short bow, and I will. Since I'm not moving, I will do my steady aim, so I get advantage on my short bow on Vapor. So that will be my sneak attack.
Fire that through the water.
I assume. I
Yeah,
don't know.
crossbows
That's a good
are
call,
one of the
though.
weapons that you can use in water.
No, this is a short
He said
bow.
short
This is a
bow.
short
Oh,
bow.
a short bow. So
Is that not possible?
here's what you could try, because you could technically fire through the top part that's still air, but I will still give the attack disadvantage because it has to go through water to get to Vapor. So it would be
But with your bonus action,
it'd be
you
equaled
Yeah.
out to a straight.
I was
straight
trying to
roll.
think of a way to get
get
my
advantage because you want your
advantage.
sneak attack. Unfortunately,
If I just fired through the water, could I still get the advantage, but like make it harder?
no, short bow can't fire when it's
Oh, it can't
immersed in
even.
water.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
That's why
gotcha.
you have to do it while you're up top.
I see. Okay, I'll do that then. So I'll just do a normal roll.
It's your best bet. In your
Yeah.
situation.
All right.
All your options are shit. Take the best one.
No, for sure. All right, one moment. Let me get
I'm
my, I
over
haven't
here
used
just
my
glad
ship book.
that my character's not currently drowning.
All right, I just
Oh,
double
where's my
checked the
short bow?
underwater combat stuff. So I guess you could still attack even if you were underwater with the short bow, but it'd still have disadvantage.
So either way, okay. So either way, I
I'll just
have
read what it says. A ranged weapon attack automatically misses a target beyond the weapon's normal range, so 80 feet,
shoot.
which
Yeah.
you're probably within 80 feet. Even against a target within the normal range, the attack has disadvantage unless the weapon is a crossbow, a net, or a weapon that is thrown like a javelin, spear, trident.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
doesn't
Let me
really
get
matter where you are. You're gonna have disadvantage on the short bow attack.
Okay, no worries. Well, I'll have a normal one because of my
Because steady aim.
aim.
There you
But
go.
yeah. Let me
Right, you
roll
take
my
aim, you
D20.
fire out the busted through window at Vapor.
Oh, I'm probably gonna miss here. I rolled a nat 2, so that's a 7. Do you have a 7 AC?
Vapor, you see this arrow, it comes out in the water and just completely loses its trajectory and goes off somewhere.
Thematically, that Vapor could grab it like lazily. How
It
slow
just
it got.
slowly comes to the water, you just grab hold of
Just
it.
grabs it, looks at it, snaps it in his hand, like the shaft in his hand, and lets go, and shakes his head.
Yep.
Okay, and
And then I mean, I
Aygir
would
and
bonus
Corgain are
action.
moving up the
I would-
tunnel.
I
Sorry,
would bonus
man.
action hide, but I
I'm
don't
sorry,
think it matters.
Adam. Okay, I'm sorry. That's how things have played
The
out.
way I count it, they break into the warehouse next time. Next
Oh, I can't
turn
bonus
and
action.
take
I
flight.
steady aim. Never mind.
There we go. That's a good way of looking. Look at the positive side.
That means you confirmed it, which means it's going to happen. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll get you there.
All right. Arachno is grasped onto the back of this underwater vessel.
Get within 5 feet. Get within 5 feet of the guy.
What's that?
Get within 5 feet of the guy. There's a reason. Promise.
Arachna's not particularly an underwater fighter. He does have a hand crossbow though. Let's go ahead and take a hand crossbow shot and see what he can do. All right, that's 30. What is this? 30 is the short range on hand crossbow, I think. Yeah. All right, so he's within 30 of Jib. Yeah. All right, here we go. Nope, that doesn't do it. Yeah, underwater shooting is not his forte. Well, he tried. Walykos, you are in kind of a bad position. You've been hurt. You've got this sticky stuff that's slowing you down. You're prone or disoriented in the water. You're 10 feet away from the vessel. What the heck do you do?
I'm sorry, I was distracted. We were just discussing in our private chat how much longer we can go, and we're all good. Esper.
Right.
So if you're good, Esper, we're all good.
We're all good to keep going, yeah. Like,
okay,
I want to finish the fight personally,
let's just do a little more. I don't know if we'll be able to finish the fight, but let's
Esper,
do a little more.
And end it with a dragon bursting through a roof.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to end it. Okay.
Well, it's my.
All right, so
turn.
yeah, Walykos, you're not in a great position. You've been hurt. No. You're covered in this sticky stuff that's slowing you down. You're disoriented. You're 10 feet knocked away from the vessel.
I hear you, Esper. Walykos just had the shit kicked out of him. He's probably spinning towards the bottom. There's blood everywhere. He probably is like disoriented, and it's like you just got hit with a bomb. You know that like disorientation, and you just hear the ringing. Uh-huh. And through the ringing, he sees everything going on, and he's trying to like, and he's still dealing with. He knows he saw Adriel on the ship, and there's like Adriel's in danger. But he's also betrayed, him.
And he
so
shot at Vapor.
I feel like I hit the bottom of the ocean floor, and that just jars me. And I take a moment, and I suck in like as much air as I have, and then I let out a little bit of the air as I say a word of magic is my most powerful, my last spell slot of 2nd level. And the air bubbles and forms into a spirit of a white shark, a giant shark, which has a sort of a feathery outline to it. And this shark zips through the water. Technically, I cast it 60 feet away, so it's right next to him.
Okay.
And the shark zips through the water and then just slams into him, making a bite attack on him as I summon Beast, 2nd level.
Really cool.
A sea spirit. Yep. Spirit of the water. Is there any creatures that are an ally to be within 5 feet of him? Mm-mm. Okay. Well, it would be nice to have advantage, but it's going to still make its attack. This is a maul attack. Does a 21 hit?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Then he takes... max damage. 14 piercing damage as it just bites into his armor and shakes him as in its jaw. And I'm just lying on the bottom of the floor stuck to this goo, and then I realize I need to move, and I crawl. I'm going for cover at half speed. I stand up, I lose half my speed. I've already half speed, so I get maybe
you have 1 square. Yeah,
I have 5 feet of actual movement swim. Because I had 35 down to 15 down to 5, 7. Yeah, 7.5, whatever.
Yeah.
Is there can I crawl if I could get underneath the sub as an underhang, he can't target me as easily, maybe?
You go in that direction. It's probably not as amazing as you would hope for in the most perfect of scenarios.
Is totally fine. I am not elegant. I am just crawling, trying to get to cover.
You're in a pretty bad spot. But the summoned sea spirit
did over half my health.
Yeah, did a pretty nice bite.
Yeah. Well, he did over half my health last turn when he shot me, so I'm in a bad place. And Walykos is just trying his best to hold on.
Yeah, I rolled max on the first crossbow shot. I rolled high on the blast damage, but then I rolled minimum on the second crossbow shot, so...
Still, that was like, oh, I'm at full hit points. Oh, I'm suddenly, like, in danger.
Well,
zone.
that's why I was saying, like Adriel was just like, oh my god, like... Because he can't see anymore. He might even be thinking, like, is he dead, right? Like, what's...
Yeah, there was a big explosion, and Walykos went flying down to the bottom. Yeah. So,
Let's say you are, I'm going to put a distance between you and the vessel. Let's say you're like 30, 40 feet away from the vessel.
Sure, that's fine. Basically, when you said he knocked me away, I imagine he knocked me downward, because otherwise, like, how would he get a good angle except up and down? Yeah. So anyways, Vapor.
All right, Vapor.
There's a shark helping.
A situation.
Yeah. And of course,
Adriel just shot at you.
Yeah.
The half dragon artificer is hurt Walykos pretty bad and is clearly a major threat.
Focus on
Adriel seems rather
Artificer.
adept at dodging that lightning blast.
Yeah. So he's going to call lightning.
Do you have a strength saving throw spell?
No, unfortunately, I don't. So he's
Grasp
going
of
to
Doom!
Yeah, that'd be terrible. That'd be really bad for
for
me.
stroke, pulls him off the ladder. No, he is going to call lightning down in such a way that it only hits the artificer. It hits Jib, not the shark, because he doesn't know if his spell would affect the shark or not.
I would like to bestow my escape mechanism.
I will make a dexterity saving throw.
You can target a space, so you could target it so it doesn't hit the shark.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure.
12 points of damage.
All right,
Thunder
you got a 10, which will be a fail for the save.
Yep.
12 damage. Ouch. Ow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vapor is
Yeah, you guys are putting some
registering
damage
this
on
guy
him.
as the bigger threat right now. And then he's going to use his movement to try to get to Walykos to help him if he can.
Half speed, so 15
Yeah,
feet.
it's 50. No, wait, it's 20 because he has 30 feet of movement.
Cool.
Because the boots of striding, true boots of striding,
Did you say that you're
or
getting
leaping
closer?
and bounding, or whatever it is.
Did you say you're getting closer to the ship or further away?
He is moving
Further
towards
away from the ship,
Walykos.
closer to Walykos.
Okay.
So let's say that by the end of your swimming, you're like 20 feet from the ship and like 50 feet from the ship and 20 feet from Walykos. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
he's just trying to get to Walykos to help him up.
Sure.
And get him into the cover if he can.
So, the ship's filled with water now. It's all filled up. So, Adriel, you're now holding your breath. You just started holding it, so you got some time. Is it Jib that I want to do first? Yeah. Okay. Jib. He goes inside, and he's like full thrust ahead.
Yeah.
That's his full action.
Oh, it's not moving. Because the weight would be so much that it'd be settling on the ground.
You're saying?
Let's say, well, it might be magical.
No, you look at modern submarines, if they get punctured, any vessel, once it's full with water, doesn't matter how powerful that engine is, unless you can pump
Well,
that
that's why I
water
said.
out,
That's why I
it's-
said. That's why I said.
I
it
don't
might
think
be
a magical engine should. You got to
I have
think.
no idea.
You're also thinking of weight. How much can that engine push?
Well, let's see what Esper thinks. He understands how it should work in his world. Let's see what he adjudicates.
Well, I could certainly see that that's a big factor, that it's got all this weight of water inside. So, why don't I give it a roll and see if what it can do on a roll? Let's see. Yep. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do.
Range of that shark. Shouldn't that shark out an attack of opportunity?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, is it actually a summon?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was.
yes.
Oh, that's.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize
that's
that.
true. Yeah, he left its threatened reach.
I will make the attack. Sorry, give me a second.
I thought that was just like a spell, like a single thing. I didn't know it was
No,
actually a
No.
summon.
he said it was a summon, so that's why
Yeah,
I
that's
positioned
awesome.
the spell.
And it gets its reactions and everything. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. No, that's not gonna do it. 11. No.
Okay, that didn't do it.
Good call. Good call though, Vapor.
Out of
Good
my
call.
way. All right. So I'm going to give this roll here for the vessel and see what it can do. It struggles. That's what it does. So normally it goes through pretty quickly in the water. I'm going to say it does not go through quickly in the water. It indeed does have a magical propulsion, but that doesn't exactly negate the fact that indeed the thing is filled with water. That's like highly working against it. So what do you think? Move half its speed?
If I may, like, could he? This is maybe. I won't say anything because like it's Jib's decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it go. I'll say it goes half its speed. So, give me 1 second. We're making some notes here.
Is it able to dash though, or is that not a?
It's just that it goes 30 feet.
It just has a speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes 30 feet and just that. Walykos and Vapor can see Arachno, like, held on to the back end of the thing with one hand, and it's pulling him through the water. And it's not going very fast, so it's actually not really that much of a risk for Arachno at the moment.
Yep.
There we go. I don't know if that's exactly what he wanted, but it's something, and it gets him back into full cover from Walykos, Arachno, and Vapor.
Oh wait, did he go backward? I'm sorry, I missed kind of what he was trying to do.
Jib's inside again. He's back at the helm, and
Oh,
he got
yeah,
it to move 30 feet forward through the water. So it moves
Still hasn't
slowly.
cleared the cave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Adriel, you're underwater. The ship is struggling to move forward. Jib's he's focused. He's been hurt though. He's been damaged. There was a shark, but you've moved past it.
Yep. I will. I'll kind of swim to the helm, and kind of like look out. Do I see, like, kind of look out, seeing where everyone, like, trying to get an idea of where.
Yeah,
everyone
you can look
is,
through
yeah.
like one of the side ports and get a rough idea of where everyone's at, but you can't see.
I don't
you
even
can't
see arachnid.
You don't see Arachno. No, you would see. I don't know. You could probably like look down there, and it's like, okay, you can kind of make out Walykos and Vapor down there. Arachno is, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I would ask Jib, like, is there anything I can do? But I doubt he's probably just not gonna say anything again. But I'll ask. I'll say, Jib,
How
is
can
there
you
any...
ask?
Oh, I can't talk. I can't
waters?
talk. I'm
Yeah.
underwater. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I haven't been underwater for a while. Sorry. Yeah. I will just. Is there a light crossbow anywhere in this ship?
Is there a light crossbow? You see what appears to be like a container, and you open it up. Inside, you find a spear. There are some other items in there, but in terms of weaponry, there's a spear.
No hand crossbow.
Looks like one that could be used for combat or for maybe some kind of spear fishing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
super
the
useful.
equal of the spear that Jib himself possesses, his actual combat spear.
Yeah, that's not gonna be super good for me. Yeah, I'll just kind of stay toward, like, nearby Jib, towards the helm. So if anyone comes to the front, and I'll just ready a well, I'll do two things. So I will bonus action hide stealth just in case, so that if someone comes up, I can maybe get something with that.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll matter, but just in
You
case.
can, if you swim back more and go through the like there's a kind of an entryway that is the crossover point from the helm chamber to the workshop or alchemy chamber. You can cross through there. There's some things floating in the water. You get behind like the wall.
Oh, gotcha. I won't do
And
that
hide
then
back
because
there.
I need to be in range of melee here, so I won't do that then. I'll just stay at the helm then, and I will ready just an attack action with my short sword. So if anything,
Short
if
sword
anyone
or short
gets-
bow?
Short sword.
sword.
Yeah, my bow
Okay.
doesn't work underwater, right?
So you're thinking like, oh, if that shark swims through the front window, I'll stab at it.
Just to
Basically.
clarify,
Gotcha.
Esper did check the rules, and there's nothing that says that your bow or
Oh wait, my
You
short
can
bow does
shoot
work
the
in
bow;
water?
it'll just have disadvantage, and it can't shoot past the short range.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay, let me check my short range. Real quick so I can
crossbows
just-
do not have the disadvantage because of how they.
Yeah, crossbow, net, and like javelins, spears, tridents.
What is the short
Those
bow
are all
range?
the
You guys know
ideal
off the top of your
underwater.
head? I think
What
it's
is it?
like four. It's like I think it's it's 80, 320. Okay, so that's the
You'd
short
have an
range is
80, just the 80 foot, and it'd be a disadvantage. If you go, well,
I'm just trying to. I'm just debating. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure out if I want to ready a melee attack, or if I want
it'd
to
kind of
ready
be the
a
same
range.
since it's readied in terms of damage, because the thing would be next to your ally, and you could sneak attack it either way.
Yeah, you know what? Here's what. Am I actually close enough to actually hit this shark without even readying my action, or is it too far away?
You can't at the moment because the ship moved forward 30 feet. So
Okay, I'll just
where the
just
shark is just wall to you.
I will ready my short sword then. So if something gets within half or
Okay, so
melee
you go
range.
up to the open, broken out window and ready a short
Yeah.
sword attack.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Jib throws you a quick glance and then just like goes back to focusing on what he's doing. And as promised, the session ends with Aygir jumping onto the back of Corrigan and him with his giant like quartz shard spike just like bashes through the shutters, and broken chips and splinters go every way, and you go flying straight out of the side of the warehouse into the air.
I like to think the whole thing resolved itself into an oil pastel painting of just a crystal dragon in the bright light unfurling its wings and flying out with Aygir clinging to its back and a little to be continued calligraphy.
On October 30th.
Yes, October 30th. Okay, so we will see everybody in 2 weeks, 2 Sundays from now, and we'll pick things back up in the middle of this very unique combat encounter, and I can't wait to see.
Esper, make sure to write down the order because in 2 weeks, who knows?
I
what
did.
order.
The
Yeah.
last couple rounds, I was making a good amount of notes. So,
Good, excellent.
all right, awesome session, everybody, and look forward to the next one.
For sure.
And just on air, happy early birthday to you, Warsor.
Thank you.
Yep, happy birthday.
Welcome to old.
Where's my artifact? I want my legendary item.
You are turning into the artifact. All right, everybody. I will look forward to the next one. See you later.
I guess.
Yeah.